us in this your movement, this God movement. I pray, Heavenly Father, that you will give us the victory that we seek, and that you will, through us, bring this nation to a greater place in time. I pray, Father, that through us, you will bless this people in ways that they have not been blessed before. I thank you so much for our leadership and all who participate, the candidates, the supporters, family, and our loved ones. Father, I pray that you continue to be with us and provide us with your great protection. I pray, Father, that by our example, others may.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the COI Live, which is being held on the Golden Isles, in the Golden Isles constituency on the Coral Harbour Park. So put your hands together, welcome yourselves. Also to our viewers that are tuning in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, this is a very special live. The rest of our lives are going to be carried out within the constituency leading up to the by-election, which is on the, y'all don't sound sure. What is on the 24th? And what is on the 17th? What is on the 17th? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for being here. It is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. They did call for rain, but guess what? God is on our side. And even if those showers of blessing come, we are prepared. We are prepared. So I am joined here with our party leader, Mr. Lincoln Bean. Also the man of the hour, Mr. Brian Roll. Ratified candidate for the Golden Isles constituency. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into talking about some of the major issues and some of the recent ones that took place in the nation over the past couple days, I would like to go over once again our November schedule leading up to the general election. Sorry, I'm anxious about this general election. I can't wait for this day to come because guess what's going to happen? The Coalition of Independence is going to be in the House of Parliament. They said, speak it. So, ladies and gentlemen, the fixed key dates once again. We know that Friday, October 31st was nomination day, where we nominated our colleague, Mr. Brian Roll, as the ratified candidate for the Golden Isles constituency. Also, Wednesday, November 5th, was our prayer and consecration. How many of you had the opportunity to attend? Was that something that you enjoyed? Is that something that you're looking forward in the near future? That is going to be something we continue. We're going to have that every month leading up to the general election. Because prayers without work, my fellow Bahamian, no general election. Listen, we are going to have prayer and consecration leading up to the general election once a month. We are not going anywhere without God. All right? Sunday, November 16th. We are all looking forward to attending a church service at Life Changers Ministries International in the Golden Isles constituency, where Pastor Valentino Williams will be ministering. The time will be shared in the group this week. Saturday, November 15th is the motorcade and grill out. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please give them the coordinates for that, please?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, they called me to do this duty. All right, so the motorcade is going to take place. We're going to start from Carmichael Road and Gladstone Road. That corner right there, there is an open lot, a bar that's there. The owners have given us permission to do whatever we want. We're going to start from there, and we're going to stretch down the road as far as we need to, and we're going to leave from there. And we are going to end on this same park, which is the Coral Harbour Park. And so we're going to stretch through basically the entire community on Carmichael Road, and we're going to end on this park. So I don't think there's any stoplights in between us or anything to hinder us in between there, but that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to have a grill and chill, some fabulous food. Make sure you're here. Some big time food. Ta opening what we had with 6 meat, 6 different meat. Okay, yeah, I think we can do 6 meat again. We ain't doing hot dog and sausages like them. And what they doing, chicken? No, we got good meat. All right? So yeah, some shish kebab. Yeah, we got some good stuff. All right, so that's it. So our motorcade, we need everyone to be there. Bring your car. Let's show them that we're ready to transform this country. And then we'll give you an update on our rally. But our motorcade is going to be on this Saturday coming. That's the 14th. That's Saturday. That's the 15th. Okay, so the church is on the 16th then. Okay, Saturday the 15th, we're going to have our motorcade. We need everyone to be there and be present. We're looking to turn Golden Isles black. Let them know we are here. We want them to hear them car horns in Russia. We want them to hear them in China. We want to rock this whole nation. So make sure you come and bring your car and your friends and your family, and let's have that motorcade.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and for the motorcade, we will be leaving at 12:30. So we need persons to be present from 10:30 so that we can begin lining up and getting those cars in order. Okay? Also, November 15th, Saturday, November 15th, for all of those who can support, there will be a funeral service for Miss Jenny Mae Ferguson at the South Beach Union Baptist Church, November 15th at 10 a.m. That is the mother of Sharinda Ferguson. Sharinda Ferguson is present out here tonight. The same lady you hear saying yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, funeral service Saturday, November 15, 10 a.m. for Jenny Mae Ferguson, the late Jenny Mae Ferguson, which is going to be held at the South Beach Union Baptist Church. Also, November 17th is the advance poll by election. It's the advance poll by election advance poll voting. Saturday, November 22nd. Can anybody tell me what Saturday, November 22nd is? It is the grand rally, ladies and gentlemen. The grand rally. Not the rally in the alley, but the grand rally. Where is that going? Location is to be determined. That will be announced this week also. And then Monday, the 24th, is the by-election. So my fellow ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Bahamians, it's time to head to the polls. Remember, we are fighting for our country. And it is all of our duty to move from behind our devices, our laptops, our cell phones, and go to the polls because that's where it matters. Remember, we have others in our country that is also walking with our passports. They have access to our voters' cards, and they are going to be voting the party that has their best interests at heart. So I'm asking all of you, because I have been hearing on my walk a little minute few people saying, I'm tired, I'm not going to vote. I just can't take it no more. Well, just let them know it's not about you. You voted how you wanted to vote for decades. It's now about our children, and we need to give them an opportunity, a chance in this country. Like we said, we need a reset. Other parties want that continuity, but we need to reset. And we ask, why should we continue on the way we are going? Is it in the benefit of any of our people? Look at the way our country are going. Look at what the nurses are going through. The teachers are going through. Young entrepreneurs are going through. Look at what took place on Bay Street today with the taxi drivers. The country is upside down. And we can no longer function this way. We are Bahamians. Let us not be divided by party. I know for years that has been our country's culture, party. But we need to look beyond that right now. We need to look at policies and how the policies are going to affect our people for generations to come. And this is why I am so keen on getting into government. It's not about the money. It's about restoration, restoring, and sustainability. Remember, I always say, who was here before us? The Lucayans. Where are they now? They do not exist. We must learn from history. We must learn. So my fellow Bahamians and all of those who are here, as well as those who are tuning in online, we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. One thing I can say is, whenever we gather, there is no gyrating. There is no alcohol. There is no loud music. When you come here, you are coming here to hear the vision. You are coming here to express yourself because your voice matters. And not only your vote matters, but your voice matters. At those big rallies, at those rallies they host, do you see anyone allowed to speak? Do you see where they are allowed to question the people who are going to or vying to represent them? My fellow Bahamians, this is where the freedom of information comes in. You are open to question your candidate. You are open to question your leader.
Excuse me. Do they even pray? I think you missed that one. They don't even pray.
There are people who know God. But ladies and gentlemen, before I bring Mr. Brian Roll on, I just want to share something with you. I think last week we had the live on the park in Dignity Gardens. One of the topics that we discussed was actually what is happening with the homes in Dignity Gardens concerning the termite. That live took place on Sunday. Monday morning, early Monday morning, in one of those homes, the roof fell in on one of the homeowners while they were sleeping in their bed. And that was due to termites. So this is the seriousness we are facing. And those homes are actually government homes. Those homes are government homes. We have to take our country serious. Most of you would have already been introduced to a candidate that's probably vying for that constituency. Whenever our candidates, whether they're PLP or FNM, whenever they come to the door and they knock, ask them, and I always say this, what is your party's policy on the empowerment and ownership of our people? We're not too concerned about who was living in the constituency, how long they have been living in the constituency, what have they done in the constituency. I am concerned about what is your party's policy. Because you are going to function on what your party's policy stands for. And the coalition party policy is Bahamian ownership, opportunities, sustainable living and development, not only here in Nassau, but also on our family islands. We are about ownership, my fellow Bahamians, and it's time that Bahamians start to own this country. Now tonight, I want to hear from you. I want to hear your voices. Voice your concern. Speak your mind. The old vices do not work. We are not afraid of victimization. They can't take nothing from us. They're already taking our country. But we are on the other end, my fellow Bahamians, and we are pulling back because change isn't coming. That change is here.
You know, while we're on that, before we talk about the issues of this specific community of Golden Isles and this Coral Harbour area where we are today, there's a couple of things that happen nationally that I want to get to, and the three of us can talk about that quickly before we get there. One of the things I cry shame on is, or was, the illegal suspension, victimization of a senior nurse, a sister, if you know what that is. The sister, they are the women who actually manage the wards, they're the leaders. A sister who was crying out for her patients and her fellow nurses because of the conditions, because there's a rat infestation. No one should have to work in those conditions. There's roofs leaking and other major situations going on at that hospital. I cry shame on this government for allowing that to happen. A&E has been in renovation for almost 10 years now. They're saying 12, 13 years. It's a shame that that would be allowed to continue in this country. And what is an even bigger shame is that people keep voting for that. The PLP was in power. It was being renovated and never finished. The FNM then came in power. It was being renovated and never finished. And then you voted again for the PLP, so what do you expect to happen? If they didn't finish it before, what makes you think they can finish it now? Why should they? Your vote told them you didn't give us an accident emergency or a hospital. So by voting for them, you are saying you don't want a hospital. You don't want accident emergency because you voted for them. If you continue to vote for the PLP and FNM, it will continue. But back to our nurse. The law prohibits you from victimizing anyone for speaking out for wrongdoing on their job. It's called the Whistleblower Act. That's a nickname. It's section 47 of the Freedom of Information Act. And it says no one should face any kind of sanction or disciplinary action for exposing wrongdoing. All right? That's the law. And so the PHA and the government broke the law. Now, what the government is trying to do is distance themselves and say, oh, the PHA is independent. I could guarantee you one thing. No one in the PHA will take that kind of action without talking to the minister and them first. That's how it works in this country. They're not going to do that. So the minister knew exactly what was going on. You know how I know? Because this is not the first nurse that this happened to. It happened to another nurse a few months ago. where she was also suspended because of something she did on TikTok, something she said on TikTok. And she actually spoke to the minister and told him about it. He couldn't care less. How could you be victimized for speaking out for the health and safety of the Bahamian people and the health and safety of the medical workers in this country? How could that be allowed to happen? Whoever did that should be fired immediately. And so I just want to advise that nurse. I'm told her name is Pearl. I'm trying to identify her so that I could find her and have a conversation with her. Miss Pearlie, I know it's almost time for you to retire. I heard you are not far from retirement age. Miss Pearlie, you are going to retire the most wealthy nurse in Bahamian history. Get yourself a lawyer, lawyer up, and sue them based on your violation of your constitutional rights, that's one, and two, violation of the law that they enacted. That's Section 47. Get yourself a lawyer. If you can't find one, then call us. All right? But we need to set an example. Put them in court so that no other nurse or civil servant can go through the same thing again. Miss Pearlie, you have the power right now. Sue the PHA, Brave Davis, because now he know when he ain't doing nothing. The Minister of Health, sue all of them. Take all of them to court, and you go win. And I guarantee you, election is just a few months away. It's about 6 months away. All right? Election is right around the corner, general election. So as soon as the COI gets in, if that case ain't finished, we can settle with UA. If they could settle with these corrupt people like Sheehan Gibson and them, and give secret money to the former commissioner who is the good friend of the prime minister, etc., we can make sure you, a good Bahamian citizen who is now a hero for standing up for Bahamians. Miss Pearlie, you are a hero, and you are to be treated and addressed as such. You have courage to speak truth to power. And we need more civil servants doing that before the general election. Stand up and speak truth to power. Miss Pearlie, when we get in, you will get more than she and Gibson got. That's a guarantee. Because we might have to take that back from him in any way and give it to you.
Testing. So, Mr. Bain, Mr. Roll, is this what Mr. Sebastian was talking about when he spoke about continuity? He said that, he spoke and said that we should not reset the government, that they should continue going on the progress that they have already established. What do we consider progress? Can someone at least give me three points that the government has put in place where the Bahamian people are benefiting collectively? 3. But I can tell you about 33 reasons why we need a reset. We cannot function like this. None of the systems are working. The healthcare system is a failure. And we know the health of the nation is the wealth of the nation. Our education system is poor. The teachers are struggling where they are right now. Our young people are frustrated because there are no opportunities. And what they label as opportunities in this country, we can do far better, my fellow Bahamians. Far better. Who all believe that it's time for a reset? If you believe that it is time for change, when I say this, just say change is here. It's time for us to develop our family islands. It is time for us to develop economy on our family islands. It is time for our people to benefit from their land. It is time for land ownership. It is time for us to benefit from our natural resources. It's time for our people to get into global marketing. It is time for a new Bahamas. And it is definitely time to breathe some fresh air. Because you know what I smell right now? Y'all smell it? Coal burning. Coal burning.
Yeah.
So the people who are tuning in, I wish you was here. You could have smelled this. This is what the people of Golden Isles have to experience every single night. And it is not fair to our seniors. It is not fair to the children that are growing up in this community.
She was asking you about the reset. What do you think about the reset?
Yes, we really do need a reset in this country. We've been going on with this, I'm going to say, foolishness for too long. And Bahamians, we are worth it, man. Do not sell yourselves short, okay? This country has a lot to offer, and we need to benefit from whatever this country has to offer. Bahamians should be put first. Come on, guys. Bahamians should be put first. Come on. Let's wake up. We need you guys to wake up. Our listening audiences online, we need everyone to wake up. Please. And vote. Register to vote. You cannot let them pull that on you again, how they did with the by-election. So please, go out there and vote. And take this party out. Take them out.
Just a preview for what is coming. We're about to speak in a few minutes to a recognized engineer in this country who is going to talk about the solution for the flooding problem in this community. So we ain't just talking the solution, we bring in the solution. When you see who he is and where he's from, of course he's Bahamian, but where he worked, you'll understand why we need change. And he actually lives in this community. But I just want to say to Sabas, who's saying we don't need to reset. In other words, he is saying that we need to continue in the failure. We need the PLP to fail again. They failed in this term, and he is saying we should just let them fail again. He is saying don't reset, keep the failure, because he is going to benefit from that while we suffer. But I have a message for you, Sebastian. What is your name? Sebastian Bastian. Sebastian Bastian. I have a message for you. The Great Reset is coming. And you and no one else is going to stop it. The Bahamians are going to be empowered this time. You are worried about a reset. We gonna have a whole new country. So yes, Sabas, no reset coming. I sorry. I was teasing you just now. We gonna have a whole new country. This one broken. Resetting this ain't gonna work. You're right. We're gonna throw that whole thing in the garbage and we gonna have a new Bahamas. So y'all in the PLP and the people y'all love, y'all go reset Haiti. All right? We gonna have a new Bahamas. I just want to say this. I saw the Prime Minister of this country again going into shanty towns and campaigning. Philip Brave Davis, you are going to be rewarded for your treason. You are going to get a just reward for your treason. You are not going to sell this country out. We are not against immigrants because someone got to come here and work for us in the New Bahamas. We want them to come. We are against illegal immigration. We are against the corruption and the politicians making money by taking advantage of these illegal immigrants. One of the illegal immigrants came to a business person right here in the Golden Isles and said he wanted a job. That's what the illegal was. He was illegal when he came. And the owner said, well, you got papers? Because I ain't hiring you if you don't have papers. He said, yeah, I have papers. And he showed him his papers. I bought this. He paid $7,000 to get his papier after being here for only a month and coming here illegally. What Keith Bell, Philip Brave Davis, and others have done in any other country, they would have been thrown out a long time ago and jailed. They are selling our birthright. I feel so good about the Bahamian young man of Haitian descent and the Haitian young man who was with him, who approached me. And they said, one of them said, you know, he about to get his papers, he about to get it, and said he is voting for the COI in the next election. He said because he understands what the COI is about. He don't want this country to turn into the country where his parents from. And he said what annoyed him is that it took him his whole life. If you see me fooling with my nose, this cold is causing my sinus to be irritated. I don't know how people in this community live like this. And there's some people wearing PLP and F&M shirts after allowing this to happen. But you get what you vote for. And he said he understands what the COI is about. We just want it done the right way. He said because he had to wait his whole life and do the proper process while the new people are just coming in from Port-au-Prince and paying for papers right away. And the PLP is making money from that. We need change in this country. So, Sabas, no reset coming. You're right. We got a whole new Bahamas. A whole new Bahamas. Everything is going to be new. There's a new thing coming.
I just want to share one thing. I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, when there was a protest outside of Parliament concerning the teachers and wanting to meet with the Prime Minister. Why is it when Bahamians, you see what's going on in Abaco, also in one of the communities, the pastors and community leaders are concerned about what's happening in their community, and they're requesting an audience from the country's leadership. They cannot get that. The teachers are requesting an audience. They need to be heard, and they cannot get that. But it is so easy for our Minister of our Minister of Foreign Affairs and our government to find themselves so casually in the shanty towns in this country and having rallies and listening to the concerns of a whole nother nationality within the Bahamian borders. And I am going to tell you, my fellow Bahamians, that is treason. That is treason. No, let me tell you what the penalty is. No, the penalty is if Bahamians don't stand up and fight for this country, they will lose their country. That is the penalty for us. We have to stand up and fight. So I'm going to say this. I am so very proud of the taxi union, the taxi drivers in this country. The young men, fathers, who decided that if they get arrested, they don't care. They are going to stand up. This is the new generation. This is the Joshua generation. We are going to stand and we are going to fight for this country, even if it means being incarcerated. We are going to stand. And I am telling you, my fellow Bahamians, and I am pleading with you, there is nothing to be fearful about. Nothing. Speaking from experience, there is nothing. And I can tell you, I can speak boldly like this because I know who is with me. I know what we are purposed to do. And we have a country to deliver. So again, change isn't coming. That change is already here.
Yes. Before we bring on my very special guest, and one of my constituents. I would just like to say, I've been hearing, some things going on that's being said about me, saying that I haven't been contributing to my constituency. Now, let me start off by saying,
Well, they're comparing you to Brian Brown. They're
Yes.
saying that Brian Roll did some little stuff here and there for the kids, etc. Brent, some of them, of course, they give him money, because they want to make sure they stay rich. And we stay poor. So they had him doing some little trinkets and little stuff here and there in the community. And so they're saying that the PLP candidate is not from here, didn't do anything, and they're saying that you can't compare. So why should they vote for you?
well, again, whatever those little trinkets were that he did in the community, how is that benefiting the people where it counts most? How is that? It should count most in your pockets. At the end of the day, is Mr. Brian Brown fighting for our natural resources? Is he fighting for our carbon credits? Was he out there assisting the teachers in their fight? Was he out there assisting the nurses in their fight? Was he out there today assisting the taxi drivers in their fight? So what is he saying? Look, I am not a politician, okay? I have a heart for the people. I live in this constituency, and I am experiencing what all of the ills in my constituency. And I joined the Coalition of Independence because I saw that here is a party, a viable party, a party that is looking out for the people. The PLP and the FNM are not looking out for its citizens. And it is very, very obvious. The Coalition of Independence, we are fighting for our nurses. Our nurses need to be paid adequately. Our nurses should be insured. And I would just like to say this to the PLP and the FNM supporters. Are you guys upset with the COI supporters or with the COI party because we want to fight for our nurses? Are you guys upset with us because we want to fight for our teachers? Are you guys upset with us because we want to fight to benefit for or to benefit from our natural resources? Are you guys upset with us because we want to fight and we want to benefit from our carbon credits? Are you guys upset with us because we want to fight for our armed forces? Come on, you guys, you are one of us. What was so disheartening yesterday on my walkabout in Dignity Gardens, I met a 70-year-old lady who is getting minimum wage, $2.60. She's a senior citizen. She's paying mortgage. She said by the time this NIB comes out, she's carrying home $240 something. I mean, I almost came to tears. She was so distraught. And what made it worse is that she didn't feel as though voting made any sense anymore. And that was very hard to hear. And, I tried to reassure her. I said, Ma'am, I said, give the Coalition of Independence a chance. Because one of the things we want to do is we want to look out for our senior citizens. We want to make sure, and this is the thing. She said that she said she was told that she could apply February of 2027 to get some sort of benefit at age 72. What we have to realize is if we are lucky, we're going to be in that same position. I'm talking about in terms of age. Okay? We have to look out for our elderly, man. I mean, a woman of that age should not be paying no mortgage. A woman of that age should not be working for no 260. That was very heartbreaking to hear. Something needs to be done. And this is one of the reasons why I have to work along with the Coalition of Independence. We are a party. Our heart is in this for our people. And please, don't let the high professions, like the lawyers and the CPAs and the accountants, these people don't care about you. When it comes to Mr. Pickstock, was he out there fighting for those taxi drivers today? Was he out there fighting? And this man was a senator. He has the air of the PM. Was he fighting for the flooding issues in Coral Harbour? Even when they are interviewed, okay? I mean, don't you think if they really have a heart for the people, don't you think some of the things they should be saying is, I'm going to make sure and fight so we could get our carbon credit, so we could benefit. I'm going to fight so we could benefit from our natural resources. I'm going to bring forth the Freedom of Information Act. So what is he saying? Huh? Look here. People, please do not get fooled from these guys, man. They don't mean you any good. Golden Isles, they don't mean you any good. At the last live last week Sunday, I went on a few of my WhatsApp groups and I sort of like apologized for becoming emotional, you know, because it's really heartbreaking to, like, when I come across some of our people who are on the fence in terms of who they should vote for. You know, some of them saying that they're not going to vote. And I'm trying not to get emotional right now because hearing some of these things from our people, you know, some of them gives me the impression, you know, like they don't deserve to have a good life. That they don't deserve to live better. My people, you guys are worth it, man. You have to believe in yourself that you guys are worth it. We have a country to fight for. Our children and our children's children, you know, this is the only country that we have. I mean, I don't know how many of you all know how to build boats, I mean, to try to sail from here and go to another country. We need to take this serious. I mean, right now, my hand, I don't know if you can see it. Right now, my hand is shaking. Right now, my hand is shaking with this mic. Because I'm feeling it, man. You know?
Mr. Roll, I am so glad that we mentioned testing. I'm so glad that Mr. Pickstock actually stepped forward, you know, being a senator and all of that. It allows us to really examine our house more. So with Mr. Pickstock being a senator, so we realize that when the PLP is in power, the FNM is saying that their hands are tied and they can't do anything, but they can table a bill. The same thing with senators. Senators have power as well. They are basically almost like the oversight committees. They can draft bills, right? They can legislate. They can take a look at all of the people's bills, because there are a lot of bills right now sitting somewhere in the basket that can actually benefit the Bahamian people. One of the most famous bills is the Freedom of Information Act. What did he do to push that forward? A lot of the people's bill are sitting in some basket somewhere in an office. And this is what I'm telling you, my fellow Bahamians. When the Coalition of Independence arrives in the House, the first thing we are going to be looking at are the people's bill. Because this is what we need to move our country forward. We don't need no more broken promises. We don't need no more empty talks. We want to see policies, bills drafted, bills tabled, and bills passed. I want to know that when foreign investors come into this country, our people are benefiting 4951. I want to know that a being in Grantstown or a Roll can own a portion of our hotels. I want to hear that the young entrepreneurs have access, that they are able to not only own businesses in this country, but they are also able to operate globally. I want to see our nurses and doctors return back to this country. I want to see them working in state-of-the-art hospital. It's time that we move our country in a different direction. We don't need fearful people. We don't, listen, I understand exactly what Mr. Bean said when he said fear is a sin. I had to pray to ask God to give me patience. Because when I speak to people and they open their mouth and they start talking this fearful talk, it's like they're speaking a different language. I don't understand what you are saying. The country is burning down, and you are concerned about a job that you are slowly being replaced with foreigners. You are concerned about a job that is paying you minimum wage when we deserve better. Can you imagine a key in your family's name? Your family's name. The Constitution states that we are the inheritors of these rock, islands, and keys. You are not begging the government for anything. You are not asking them for anything. The natural resources belongs to you. The crown land belongs to you. Whatever our resources are being traded from or by, the money belongs to you. Do not allow people to say that you are begging and you want the government to do this and to do that. Well, the government is benefiting, and there are families, dynasties in this country that have been benefiting for more than 51 years. It's your time, and it's your children's time. We are not going to let 50 more years pass while our babies grow up in this country and suffer and not able to benefit.
Yeah, so I just want to make this clear based on what we had said earlier. I want to make the understanding clear that the COI is an organization, a party, where real Bahamians, real qualified Bahamians decided that they needed to step forward and take a stand. Yes. They didn't want to stay in their homes and complain anymore. They didn't want to stay in the barbershops and complain anymore. They decided that, hey, I'm qualified, then I need to step forward and bring the change because the politicians have been failing us. And this is one of them here, a qualified man. Deals with the networking and fiber optics, etc. for BTC. If you got internet in your house, he probably was responsible for that. He strategizes and plans out all of the networking, etc. He's a talented man. He decided that he saw one party that was fighting for the issues in his community and in his country. So he decided to step forward to help. Not to run, Initially, he didn't join our party to run. But he saw what was going on. He saw the coal mining. We call it coal mining, but they really make the coal. He saw the coal mining happening in his community. He felt the coal mining. He smelt the coal mining happening in his community. He saw the proliferation of illegal immigrants happening. He saw the forest fires, the intentionally lit forest fires going on in his community. He saw the flooding going on in his community. And he realized that only one party speaking out for these things that's affecting this community. And he decided to come go with us and fight this fight with us. To be a man to stand up and fight for his family, for his wife and children. He decided that he is going to be a man and he's going to step forward. And after stepping forward and going into the community with us, I'm all over Carmichael Road in this area, he decided, you know what? I'm going to put myself forward. If not now, then when? If not you, then who?
And I would just like to let our senior citizens know that under a COI government, you guys will be taken care of. Our disabled, and this really goes out to the FNM and the PLP supporters. One day, given God's grace, you guys will be there too. At that tender age, 70, 80, you guys will be there. You will be in the same position, okay? We're not gonna stay young all our lives. So, again, under COI government, our elderly, you guys will be taken care of. Our disabled, you guys will be taken care of. Our nurses, hey, free health care under a COI government. Free medication under a COI government. Free education under a COI government. From the cradle to a doctorate level. We are not living in a broke, poor country. This country is very, very wealthy. It just takes the right leadership. And right now, I am very confident in our leader, Mr. Bain. And he is one of the reasons why I am here today, to fight for this country alongside him, our chairman, and some of our colleagues sitting up front here. This is something that we have to do. This is not a game. It's not a joke. Sometimes I watch the PLP and FNM supporters, like Charlotte would have said, it's a party. Rum, pom-pom shaken up. And that is something that we don't do here. We are about serious business. We don't have time to be shaken up. And it sickens me when I watch sometimes the parliamentary station and those MPs walking in late, like it's not important, like we're not important, like our business is not important to them. They walk in willy-nilly when they ready. But the end is now. The end is now. Change isn't coming. Change is here.
You know, I want to say this. You talk about their little parties they having where they twerking. They remind me of Kamala Harris and her campaign. Bring out the celebrities and let's twerk. Make everyone forget about the pain they suffering. Forget about that cold that's going on. Forget your child can't get a job because illegal immigrants getting all the job. Forget you can't pay your light bill and your water bill. Forget you can't afford groceries. Forget that they tax you to death. Just come twerk. Come twerk. You know? Go ahead.
We canvassed Adelaide a few days ago, Adelaide Village. And I don't know if many of you know, but Adelaide has one main road in and one main road out. That's a health hazard. Something needs to be done. The same with Lazaretto Road. Something needs to be done. If there is a serious catastrophe, the only place those people can go is jumping in the mangroves. If there is a serious fire, and if the wind is blowing in the southwesterly area in that area, those people would perish. And Adelaide have some very nice historic buildings. Adelaide is an economic site on its own because of the mangroves that are so close. I'm understanding that there are young men who dive. I'm understanding that there are young men who take the kayaks out in that area. Right there, Adelaide, right there is economic wealth right out there. And under COI government, we will make sure that Adelaide shines.
Yeah.
They are a part of Golden Isles. They will shine. We will see to it. We will see to that the young men in Adelaide be empowered to own their own businesses. When we were in that area, we saw some tourists were in that area. We need to put Adelaide on a map.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, when I become the next sitting member of parliament, Adelaide and the whole of Golden Isles will be on the map.
I just want to say, inform you all and say a special hello to a guy from the F&M. His name. So Pintard, I know you're watching. I know that scared you just now. Hey, how they know? All right, so y'all keep doing what y'all doing. You know, the F&M and PLP are scared. The F&M is supposed to be one of those old dinosaur parties that been around from before I was born. The F&M was around before I was born. All right? And if they're going to call a rally, because election coming, why would they say, let's have the rally in the back of the yard by our headquarters? That means you expect no one there. You ain't serious. They have no confidence in themselves. You ain't serious. They have no confidence in themselves. They have no confidence that the people are interested in them. So they set up a whole rally in the back. You'll see how small the yard is. They call a rally in the alley, put up 100 chairs, and do plenty tight shots with their camera work. We ain't calling a rally yet, and we got more people in this yard than they had to their whole rally. Pintard, this ain't a rally yet, but guess what? Rally coming. So Pintard, next time, don't call no rally in no alley. Y'all been around long enough, stealing what belongs to the Bahamian people. Y'all could more than afford to call a real rally. All right? But guess what? Rally coming. And guess what? Election coming. And we could take back everything that y'all have stolen from the Bahamian people. You can't hide it in Cayman Islands. You can't hide it in Switzerland. We know where everything is. And we coming. So call as much rally as y'all want. Go have another rally in the back of your yard, all right? We could be there sitting on Crossroad laughing again. All right? They have no confidence in themselves. And to Zabas Bastian, who is using his station, his TV station to attack the COI, you notice they're attacking the F&M. They're attacking the COI. Isn't it amazing that both the PLP and F&M are attacking the COI and not each other? Y'all see that? Oh, they scared. The COI coming. Oh, they scared. And so, you know, someone was telling me they keep bringing on these shows with people who support the PLP. They got Leslie Miller on there. He still owes $30 million. But they keep having him on there talking to the baby people. And he keeps getting government contracts. $30 million with an M. And they keep bringing on other persons who are against the COI. But let me tell you something, the Bahamians are past that. The old weapons are not going to work anymore. All we know is this country is not working. This country is broken, and we have to fix it. So I just wanted to say that. I want to thank Madam Chairman. Give her a round of applause. She's doing a great job. I want to thank you for joining us. But we're going to now go and talk solutions, Golden Isles. It's time to talk solutions. While they partying and twerking, they got the candidate from Fox Hill dancing effeminately on the stage next to Denley Penn. I'm telling you that this is serious business. I'm saying this to the FNM, and I'm serious with that. I didn't say that to attack Dr. Fox. I said that because if they think that winding up on a stage and dancing is going to solve the issues of this country, they got another thing coming. If they think that that's going to convince the Bahamian people to go back to suffering under the FNM, they got another thing coming. The Bahamian people have had enough. And they could wind up and dance up on the stage as much as they want. But we know what we feeling in our homes. We know what we feeling on the road, breaking up our cars. We know that this country ain't working, and we can fix it. So, thank you, Madam Chairman. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll see you soon.
Thank you
We can
very
see
much.
you to the motorcade. All right?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right.
Ladies and
Motorcade
gentlemen.
on Saturday for those who just turning in. Motorcade on Saturday. Everybody come on. Who all gonna be there? All right. All right. You want to introduce him or you want me to introduce him?
Yes, I'll introduce him.
Good. This is your neighbor.
Yes.
This is your constituent.
Yes. I would like to introduce one of my own constituent, very intelligent engineer. And one of the words I normally use when I'm speaking is the word inclusion. I cannot do this alone. And Golden Isles have many, many, many intelligent people who are willing to assist me, who are willing to put Golden Isles on the map, who are ready and willing to fix the issues in Golden Isles. And I would like to introduce Mr. Bastian. He's an engineer extraordinaire. Welcome, Mr. Bastian.
He is the former manager at Water and Sewage,
Yes.
to be exact.
I just like this. Let's shake him.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you may have a seat. It's one of the big bosses from Water and Sewage. He's an engineer. And the reason I'm proud to introduce him like that is because in our country, they bring in the foreigners to do work that we have qualified persons to do.
Yes.
Like right now, they brought in a company called Pike and got a bunch of foreign people working at BPL, and they don't know what to do. The Bahamians still have to do the work. And Bahamians do it in 1 hour would have taken them days to do. This is reality, I'm not exaggerating. The Bahamians could do it in an hour what it's taking these foreigners days to do. They just bringing in foreigners just to have foreigners, while our qualified Bahamians can do the job. And guess what else they did to make sure they handicap Bahamians? They took all the vehicles of BPL and turned it over to Pike. Bet y'all didn't know that was happening. This wicked, evil government took all of our vehicles, that's ours, from BPL and turned it over to Pike. So if our workers from BPL need a bucket truck, they got to go to Pike. They took BPL off of the vehicles and put Pike on our vehicles. Y'all didn't see what's happening? They stole BPL. Some say they sold it. No, they stole it. Pike is owned by the business partner of Frankie Wilson and Tommy Turnquest. So the F&M and PLP just stole BPL. And there are people still wearing red and yellow shirt while they suffering. Your children gonna pay for that shirt and that $50 that you took. So Mr. Mario Bastian is use the real Bastian.
That's correct.
All right.
Basket.
All right. Turn it on. Let's make sure it's on. Mr.
Yeah.
Bastian, welcome.
Yes, welcome.
Welcome. Good afternoon to everybody.
Awesome. You know, Mr. Bastian lives in this community and he wants to talk about the solution to the flooding in this community because he is an expert in that area. We have the talent to solve all of our problems. But before we go there, I just want to say this. I want to bring this up. Someone told me this, about the well fields and that situation. I don't know if you want to talk about that. But the well fields in the back there, you were one of the persons responsible for that, right?
I used to be the senior engineer with responsibility.
Put the mic to your mouth. Put it to your mouth.
With responsibility for water supply throughout New Providence and North and Central Andros.
Oh.
I've been an engineer for over 35 years. I've worked all around the world, doing various projects. Currently, I'm retired, but I'm also a consultant. I am an expert in the field of hydraulics and hydrology. So I know about the movement of water. I've done it all my life. One of the things that has really hurt my heart each day, I live in Coral Harbour. I have to traverse this main road every day. I have to traverse the northern corridor of Coral Harbour North, right beyond the plaza at the roundabout, and put my vehicles through, a foot to 2 feet of water on a routine and regular basis. I've lived in Coral Harbour for over 24 years. And throughout that time, I've watched the situation on the Coral Harbour Road South. I've watched that, turn that one off. I've watched the water, the flood water, be impacted and exacerbated by, I would call this poor designs and poor construction. Let me explain. There's an act that governs the design and construction of roads in the Bahamas. That's the Road Act 2006. And under that act, and one of the reasons I want to discuss this part of it, under that act, the minister is charged with constructing and repairing roads such that they are safe. And I can tell you, and I'm sure all of you can attest to the fact that our roads are unsafe. Every street in particular, and I can call the ones in this particular constituency, for instance, Carmichael Road, it has dimples from Blue Hill Road straight down to Clifton Pier. It has Spalding in the area of Sir Clement Maynard's home going to Frank Watson Boulevard. In other words, the tar surface has lifted off of the street. And persons everyone who has to traverse that road would have to be trying to veer their vehicle around those spalded areas. And that can lead to unsafe driving conditions. Under that act, the minister is supposed to make certain that the roads are safe. That's not safe. Carmichael Road, anywhere from if you pass Bacardi heading west, upward to the areas where Bahamas Gas is, there's a lot of dimples in the street. All right? Another unsafe condition, in particular on the northern side of the lane. And then there's a big hole just after you pass the patio that's been there now for years, and nobody seems to want to repair it properly. And you know, one of the things that really gets to me, I feel insulted by the Bahamian government in the way they conduct themselves in terms of repairing our streets. Carmichael Road, the last time it was paved was when Frank Watson was in office. He paved it from Blue Hill Road straight down to Clifton Pier. And I can tell you that because I grew up in the Carmichael Road area. From Carmichael Road was a track road. So I could tell you how long I've been in this area. All right, so I know the development of Carmichael Road. With respect to the Coral Harbour area, the Coral Harbour Main Road, Coral Lakes, Coral Heights West, flooding all the time. And I can give you a little story. I had to take my family away to deal with some educational issues with my daughter. She had to do some exams in the US. And we were away for a period of 2 weeks. The last torrential downpour that came, I had spoken with some of my neighbors in the area to find out what was the impact of those that torrential downpour on the Coral Harbour Main Road. And they said to me, Mario, it is so bad that the Defense Force is now bussing through their officers. They're allowing them to park by the roundabout and then bust them through because the road is that flooded, right? And I can tell you the story behind why that road is inundated with all of this flooding. Some of the things that has happened over the last few years, the last time Michael Alkides was the representative for this constituency, one of the things he did prior to exiting office was to build a walk path on the western side of the road. Prior to that, the gated community of Via della Rosa was built, all right? Section 8.1, I called some parts of the act just to let you know how poorly we are managing and governing the affairs of this country, all right? Section 8.1a indicates that, and I'll read it for you just so you get an understanding, that no person shall convey storm water onto a public road, drains, verge, subsoil, or gutter. The walk path that was built, it was built by Ministry of Works, right? The roads that were built by Via della Rosa all convey water onto Coral Harbour's main road, right? Those roads and that walk path are more than, in particular the verge and walk path, they're more than a foot higher than the road. So the road is a valley, right? It's creating a problem. They also had another gated community that was recently built, a few years now, about 5 to 6 years, that has exacerbated the problem, right? That is the one they call Fairway Close, right? That is just opposite Via della Rosa. If you notice, that is much higher. So it dumps even more rain into the road, okay? So you see that they've already contravened Section 8.1-8, right? Further, right? And this shows you, and let's bear in mind, the Ministry of Works is responsible for reviewing designs that engineers produce and approving those designs, solutions implemented. in areas, and I'll tell you a little bit about road design, civil designs. Some of the things as engineers that we look at with respect to any road to make certain it's safe is to ensure that the street, when we're looking at, and I wouldn't talk so much so about the pavement area itself, but I'll speak more with respect to the drainage, the hydrology, and so on that goes along with that. Some of the things that engineers should pay very close attention to is rainfall, right? You need to know the rainfall patterns, the rainfall amounts that would occur over a given period of time to get an understanding of how much water, and I'll try to break this down as simply as I can, how much water that would come onto the ground surface in a very short period of time. And, as engineers, we are guided by looking at various time horizons. If you're looking at a 10-year, a 20-year, a 50-year, or 100-year time horizon, and you then try to design the infrastructure accordingly. Aside from rainfall, you also look at the topography. And when I talk about the topography, I'm just talking about the ground, how it's laid out, whether it's hilly or it has a lot of valleys and so on and so forth. You want to get an appreciation for that so that you design that road where it is either level enough or high enough. And in the case of Coral Harbour Main Road, in this example, Coral Harbour Main Road is a valley. And that is why all of the water is just settling on and ponding, as we tend to say, on the street, right? And these are things that it appears as if everybody at the Ministry of Works have forgotten, and the MP for this area. And it is something that I've brought to the late MP's attention numerous times, and persons at the Ministry of Works, right? Irrespective, he was our MP, right? So these are things that you must look at. You must also look at the type of soil. Coral Harbour has what we call a type 3 type soil. It's saturated. And I tend to break it down this way. If you have a bowl of soup that is already full, and you pour more soup in it, what's going to happen? It's going to overflow, right? And let's say, using the Ministry of Works' traditional solutions, because they seem to approve putting in deep wells in saturated soil. Let's use a straw as an example of the deep well. You put a straw in that bowl of soup and pour more soup through that straw. What is it going to do? Exactly, it's already full. The bowl is full. It's not going to go anywhere except onto the existing terrain. So you're still going to flood that road. You have to look at other solutions. You have to, and in the case of Coral Harbour, the solutions they may be costly, but they are a necessary evil. There are various types of solutions, and I mentioned one, a deep well, which we know already is inappropriate for this type soil, right? Secondly, you can install swales. The Ministry of Works, if you know what a swale is, all it is an excavated area that allows water to be captured in an area and moved away from the road, right? Swales, they've tried to do something to that effect alongside Coral Harbour South, just in the vicinity beyond Budget as you're heading south along the street, but it's right on the road, and there's not sufficient area for it to do. They have an issue there where Via della Rosa, in that verge area, they have 2 detention ponds. Those little water bodies that they have mounds of soil and grass on, and then there's a little pond. Those are detention ponds. But the area is so high, and if you notice, there's always water in it. So they can't accept any more water from the street. So the only solution, as I've said to persons for years, is to capture this water either through gutters and convey it through a piped and chamber system to either the canals or the sea. They're all right there in the general locale. And that's the solution for along Coral Harbor Main Road. Now, there may be, because there are some crests at Hopkins Drive that may warrant that you may have to use a forced main system to get it over to the canals or to the sea. But either way, you have to use a conduit and chamber system, whether it's gravity feed, as we tend to say, which just means that you would slope the pipes to allow the water to flow under gravity, flow from one chamber to the next, and then on to the next one until you reach the final outfall, which we would call, in this instance, the canal or the sea. There's also some problems that I noted in Coral Heights West. There is a pond there where, and the pond is right at the intersection of Center Drive and so on. That pond overflows when you have those types of torrential downpours, and it floods out the entire street, and persons are unable to get in and out of their homes. All right? So that is another problem that you would, for what I have seen, you would have to implement a similar type system with conduits and chambers and force. You can use a force main to take it from that area onto a connecting system along Coral Harbor Road South and convey it to the canals or the sea. This is a simple thing, and I've said this to Ministry of Works. You need to lift the street. If you notice, they lift the pavement. The last time they paved it earlier this year, between just before budget and heading west in the vicinity of Via de la Rosa. And I can assure you, I would, on a regular basis, anytime we have those kinds of rainfall, I would take a video. I'd go in my truck because I can't go in any of my other lower vehicles, and I would shoot a video, send that out to the Minister of Works, the PS at the Ministry of Works, the Chief Civil Engineer at Ministry of Works, and so on, and the former MP, to let them know that I am displeased as a tax-paying citizen to have to put my vehicle through this on a regular basis. All right? And they are doing nothing to cure the problem. Now, like I said, they've lifted the pavement somewhat, and I think that was at the instance of one of the last videos I had sent to them, and I can tell you I was a bit raw in that one because I was very angry. I noted the next day they had their new director, who was, I think, out of England, not even our own. They're rolling the pavement, and they brought in equipment and started a little bit of paving, and then left. And the rest of the street is in a mess. All right? So these are the kind of solutions that can happen. But there's a multiplicity of solutions that, under a feasibility study, fall away. All right? you're supposed to have anywhere from a 2% to a 6% crossfall. And what that is the road sort of crests at the center, crowns, and then it tapers off as it goes to the verge. All right? And what that does is it allows for the rain to flow off of the pavement area very quickly so that you don't have ponding, which then results in vehicles hydroplaning off the road. And basically what hydroplaning is you have so much water on the road, the water forms a wedge between the vehicle's tires, and it causes you to lose traction. So you just slide off the street. You have no control, right? Another unsafe condition, right?
So are you saying that in different parts of Golden Isles, because Golden Isles is a wide area, you can have different solutions?
That is correct. You know, you wouldn't look at it, and one of the things, again, as I've seen the ministry, they have just done this sort of broad brushing, one solution fit all. Just drop a well there and that'll solve the problem. It won't, because the well is already full of water. It ain't going nowhere. The aquifer cannot receive any more water. It will not be able to dissipate that water in a very short time to make certain that the roads does not pond.
So in your expert belief, this flooding problem can be resolved?
Of course. And I could say this, the same solution can be implemented in Pinewood. There's the Sea Breeze Canals right there, and the South Beach is right there to convey this water via a conduit and chamber system to the sea. It's right there. And there are other solutions. I mean, I'll give you another one. You may be familiar with the blue tank on the top of Blue Hill. I was the senior engineer responsible for that project. And so when we were constructing that, and they were doing the road construction of the Tonic William Dallins Highway, one of the things I had suggested to an executive at the corporation back then was to let's excavate the Independence roundabout and put a tank under that roundabout.
Yes.
All right? So all the water that is coming down Blue Hills and flooding out East-West Highway could go directly into that tank. You can treat it and either use it for flushing, and it would be a source of revenue for the water and sewage. You can use it for flushing in Yellow Elder, or you can use it for irrigation of the verges and the medians along our the thoroughfares, right? But there are lots of solutions that can be employed if we start using the technical expertise that we have and stop just doing the same thing that we know would not give the results that we want.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and that's something that we were proposing in Pinewood for a very long time, because I saw these kinds of solutions in countries like Hong Kong, etc., where you just take an area like you just said. We propose parks, because that's how they do it in Hong Kong, in Singapore, etc. You take the park and you put and Japan, yes, you put a big reservoir underneath, and there will never be flooding in your communities. We have these solutions, but they're not taking them seriously, and it's clear that they don't know what they're doing, and they don't, like the person said, they don't care.
Well, one of the things I've been very critical of my engineering colleagues at the ministry. I think they are directed by the political directorate as opposed to saying, let me guide and steer the political directorate with a technical solution to solve the problems that you want to solve.
Yes.
Right? And I think the country has to get there and allow the technocrats to do what they do, and the political directorate, you deal with policy, right? But let persons do their job. I know I've admonished some of my engineering colleagues that you need to stand up and tell these ministers that I am the expert and not you. Okay?
Yes, yes.
I am the expert and not you.
Wow.
All right.
I want to say this. If you're watching live, you may see the camera is not pointing on us properly. That's because the rain started, and so they had to try and come and protect the equipment so they'll get them pointed in the right direction in short order. But I want to say this to you. The COI is a organization that is looking to take this government and to bring the solutions that the people need. It's not going to be about going in there to make money from contracts, etc. It's going to be about waking up every day to see what we can do to make life better and easier for the Bahamian people,
Correct.
like other countries do.
I'll tell you.
Our Minister of Works, we call it urban transformation, is going to be the man. How many of y'all love the design of the airport? You like how the international airport is designed? Yeah, I like that. That's a nice design. I'm proud of that. Well, the man who was the architect on that job was Mr. Hiram Lewis. And he is good. Yes, a lot of people didn't know that. Mr. Hiram Lewis did the architectural work there to make this, to bring that to fruition. And but he was never really used by the F&M when he was there. How could you have a man with that kind of capability and not use him in that capacity? That was ridiculous. And so he is going to be there to, as an expert, to do all of these things that you're talking about. And I want to say now that we are going to bring in Bahamian experts like yourself in order to help him. So I want you to be a consultant to assist our Bahamian people with getting this job done. Go ahead.
There's another thing, and thank you for that, sir, but there's another thing that's near and dear to my heart. And I know we've all seen it, and we pray that it would not happen to us, but I guarantee you it is a risk that all of us who are homeowners or we're renting, that we are faced with. There is no fire hydrant in our communities. None. Okay? I can tell you that. The hydrants that you may see in your community on any street is a hydrant for flushing of water and sewages mains. Okay? The fire department are not allowed to use those because the Water and Sewage Corporation does not provide fire flows. Okay? And fire flows basically is a stepping up of the pressure and flow to accommodate the fire department during a fire event. If you have noticed too, as a citizen of this nation, and one of the things I sort of smirk at is that every asset that the fire department goes to attempt to abate, they lose. They never save the asset. No water, and/or their fire engines are not working or insufficient or don't have the requirements to fight that fire successfully. And I'll give you an example, right? We have a lot of tall buildings that are currently being constructed throughout the country. Do you see a ladder fire truck in this country? Not one. Not one. Okay? I don't even know if the fire truck at the fire station near Miller's Height, if they even have one. Okay? But I'm going to tell you that when I was growing up as a boy, along Carmichael Road, there were fire hydrants to allow the fire trucks to tie into those in the event of a fire and get fire. There is, to get water, sorry, to put out the fire. There is a specification that indicates that if there is a community like this, you should have a fire hydrant within 500 to 1,000 feet of each home on the street. Do you think that exists in New Providence? Okay? So it demonstrates, and the responsibility for putting in those hydrants lies with the Ministry of Works. So all of our homes are at risk. The fire department is responsible to say to the Ministry of Works, this is where we need these fire hydrants. They approve under the Subdivisions Act, the Planning and Subdivisions Act of 2010, all of these subdivisions without one fire hydrant in them. All right? So all of our homes are at risk. And if we don't do something to change that, what we saw in California and Hawaii and so on, we will fall victim to the very same thing. All right? So we are sitting and, saying, when we watch these events on the news, oh, it may not happen to us, but I assure you it's coming. Okay? With respect to climate change, all right, I was fortunate to be the project engineer for a 7-island project throughout this country. And as a part of that, the requirements of that, those infrastructural development, we had to look at climate resilience. All right? In doing so, we modeled all of those 7 family islands, well, there were 6 of them, because 2 of the projects were here in New Providence. And when we looked at the results of the model, and this is after putting in all of the temperature of the sea water, looking at the levels and so on of seawater hitting the shores, looking at the temperature of the environs and so on and so forth, looking at wave conditions and the like. When we got the results of the modeling, and I saw that we had as high a sea surge hitting our shores, 28 to 32 feet of water hitting our shores. And this was several years we did this study. I said to my family, I said, let me tell you something. If we see a hurricane, and I'll say this, our modeling undertook a 100-year time horizon. I said to my family, when you see a storm is about to hit our islands, like the ones we had in Abaco and Grand Bahama, and we saw what happened in Jamaica, same kind of hurricane, same sort of strength. I said, our first thing is to leave the country. That's plan A. Get on a flight and get out, because you will not survive. And then I said, plan B is look for the highest structure that you feel is sound and safe to go in. All right? But plan A, Bahamians, get off. You will not survive moving water. All right? And like I said, and this was, we did that study prior to the Hurricane Dorian, and I tried to meet with the minister and the PS of Ministry of Works to share that report with them. Never got an audience. And when Dorian hit, I said, you see, I tried to warn this country. All right? It's a shame that that is what has happened, but that's the reality. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this publicly. Right? I am disappointed in the current Prime Minister for going around the world and talking about climate resilience and climate change. And this man in 4 years has done nothing to improve the infrastructure to make it climate resilient. Okay? It is shameful to see that they have done nothing. And he is all around the world champion it. And I tend to liken it this way. He is going telling everybody about their house burning down and his own here on fire. Okay? So we as Bahamians need to recognize that these people are not doing the duty that we have sent them to Parliament to do. And we now need to say it is time to get rid of them. You hear them talking about, and I know the leader had asked me to talk about the well fields. I used to manage these well fields. Okay? Back then, I think this was around about 2004. One morning, I got out of my bed and I said to my wife, I said, love, I am going to head into the well fields early this morning. I am going to take some photos, prepare a cabinet paper to send to the cabinet to demonstrate the impact that the illegal immigrants who were encroaching in the well fields, the impact that they were having on the water reserves of this country, and by extension, our national security. And I can tell you, this was around the time when, if you recall, and we're still experiencing it to this day, that BPL is shutting off power and so on because they can't provide sufficient power to the island. It was the same thing I was managing. We did not have sufficient water to supply this island, so I had to then do what we call cutbacks, all right? Because we had had all of this development in New Providence, you know, all of these subdivisions, all of Atlantis and so on being built and so on, but there had been no increase in water supply to accommodate for the population growth and that of the tourism growth in the nation. And for a period of time, I had to manage that. But at the same token, I said this madness has to stop. And I will take on the challenge of looking at a supply-demand balance to see what we can now do in terms of increasing the supply in this nation. And that was the impetus and the inputs that went to cabinet to then say we need to build a RO plant at Blue Hills by BPL in Soldier Road. Right? We did a $6 million plant then. And then a few years later, I upsized that again by an additional $4 million. All right? And we did some other things. I wouldn't get into all of that, but we did some other things to try and see how we can save water and so on. But again, it is incumbent on all of us, every professional, in every which way, shape, or form, to stand up and say to the political directorate that the madness must stop. This is what we need to do. These are my recommendations as the technocrats. You guys need to now find the money so that we can make this happen. All right? We have to make we cannot survive in this nation without water. I'll tell you another thing that I really have a problem with, the encroachment in these well fields. After I finished the last RO plant, I had said to the GM then, I said, sir, you are intending to turn these over to the government. You are happy now that you got your brand new RO plants, they're performing and so on. But I said to him, let me tell you something. These are man-made. They will fail. These well fields, we may have overpumped them over the years. We may have, and when we say overpump them, we've pulled out, extracted more than they can yield on a daily basis. So we have what we then tend to call an upconing effect, which then allows the fresh water to come into the brackish water zone and then into and then salt water. All right? So that would then allow for the water to become a little bit more saline. But I said, you know what? The one thing with Mother Nature and our lovely God is he knows how to correct and right herself. All right? Mother Nature will always sweeten up herself. Now, we have allowed persons to encroach in these well fields. And I guarantee you, at some point in time, we will need to go back to those to get water. And if we don't stop the madness that I see going on in these well fields, we're going to have problems. Now, I know we're talking about handing Crown land over to Bahamians, which I fully support, but I think we need to do it in a regulated way. And what I have seen over the last 4 years under this administration is this is every man for himself. Everybody is just throwing 4 rocks and saying that's wherever those 4 rocks land, that's my piece.
Yeah. Let me say something. You know, it's something I wanted you to bring up. I see you brushed over it a little bit, but I've been saying this in the Bahamian public for a long time, that those well fields were meant for us to get water. Even Aquapure had bought a piece of property back there closer to Gladstone Road, and they used to get water from those same well fields. And it was discovered that Haitian immigrants were using the well fields like their sewer. They were defecating there and throwing trash, etc., in it, and they were contaminating the water. And on many occasions, we had to stop the water from going to the people of Nassau. Tell us about that.
Again, as I was saying, around 2004, and like he rightfully said, I brushed over it. I went into the well fields that morning, took some photos, then prepared the cabinet paper. What those photos was to reveal to the cabinet members is that we had illegals defecating in these trenches, right? Stealing our pumps that we put in there to provide water for the Bahamian people, stealing electricity from the poles and the lines that we had put in place to provide electricity for our infrastructure. And nobody was doing anything about it, right? And this was from 2004, all right? I went along with the DGM at the time and met with the Commissioner of Police at headquarters with all of his top brass. All I could see is black in the room, all right? And we discussed the challenges we were having in the well fields. And we said to him very pointedly, because I don't mince my words, we said to him very pointedly, we are not a law enforcement agency. We are responsible for water and sewer in this country. We will give the illegals the 30-day notice under law, and we will provide the equipment to bulldoze down the homes and shacks that they had in the well fields, and we will, but we need yourselves to come and enforce the law. We repeated the same thing with immigration, and I could tell you, nothing happened.
For 20 years, I'm told.
For almost 20 years.
Wow.
So when I saw the last Perry Christie government finally saying that they're going into the well fields to break down the shanty towns, I was elated. However, what I have seen in the last 4 years as they break down...
But before you go there, what they did was they made agreements with those persons, because for 20 years they wanted them to move, couldn't get them to move, and they moved them into the Cowpen Road area. So the point here is that these people were literally defecating in our waters, contaminating our waters, and the government failed to do anything about it. Yep. And this is the effect of illegal immigration. Is like they had no control over it. And that water was coming to our homes.
Well, let me correct you there. The water wasn't coming to the homes. What I had to do was I had to discontinue service from those well fields.
Yes.
All right, and these were the well fields just opposite to the Lazaretto Bend, all that S Bend there, and that they had now started the new homes. We had to shut down all of the well fields
But
there
up to
on that
until
northern side
up
of the
to
street.
until your discovery, that means that it would have been contaminated up until it was shut off.
Up until the point that my team and I went into
Yes.
the area and ascertained what was going on. And as soon as that happens, I can tell you, I made certain that we shut down those well fields.
Perfect.
All right. But the thing is that um, it was, and this is the part that I cannot stress enough. This was at a time when we had a deficit of supply of water in New Providence. I had to
Wow.
then shut down a producing arm of our well field that I should have been able to harvest water from to supply to the Bahamian public. All right? And that hurt my heart.
Wow.
All right? And I can tell you, uh, again, and I will bring this to this day and time. I have seen persons indiscriminately just go into those well fields and they're constructing all over them. And I'm going to tell you one of the most precious resource that is in high demand is water. If you notice, there is and this has been a fight brewing for years between Canada and the U.S. Canada supplies a large proportion of water to California and various northern states. And they're now saying to the U.S. that they're going to stop. So that is even going to cause a problem. You have
Yes.
countries throughout the world that persons cannot get good, wholesome drinking or potable water. And if we're not careful, remember, we're surrounded by sea. So a lot of the water in water bodies throughout this nation is either brackish or saline.
Yeah.
So the limited supply that we have is in these well fields here along Carmichael Road. And if we don't protect those, I guarantee you, we are going to feel the weight of what it means to do without water.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to give Mr. Bastian a round of applause. This had to take, for any Bahamian to come and speak truth, it takes courage. You know, it's difficult for us to speak out in this country, but I want to thank you for your courage that you see this country has a need and that you were willing to share your expertise. I can assure you that once the COI gets in, these things are going to be done. There will be no excuses. They are going to get done. That's a guarantee. Because it's not a want, it's a need. So I wanna thank you for that, and we're gonna continue on with our show, and we thank you for being here. God bless you, man.
Thank you, too.
And vote for change. Good information. We appreciate you, my brother. We appreciate you. I want to do what no other party does. And of course, that's open the mic to you in the audience and open the phone lines. Someone texted in the chat. The phone line is 803-5995. You can WhatsApp call or you can regular call. 803-5995 are the numbers. And so you can call in at this time and you can ask questions of your candidate if you're from Golden Isles. If you're in the country on the whole and you want to know what our plans is, some things we want to do. If you don't believe some things or if you like some things, you can call. We are putting ourselves forward to you. No other party does this. We're going to continue to do this even when we get in government because we have to be answerable to the people. We need the people to buy into what it is we are putting forward. And so if it's anyone who doesn't believe that the things that we're saying is possible, this is your chance to call in and question us, expose us. And this is the part of the show where the trolls break off running. Because they want to go on social media and just say, this can't be done, that can't be done, that can't be done. They don't want an answer. They just want to put doubt in people's minds. But if you actually answer it, they know that they messed up as a troll. All right? But there's nothing that we have, hold the line, call, we'll be right with you. There's nothing that we have proposed that is not being done in some country right now. As big as they sound, as ambitious as they sound, they are all being done somewhere right now. And all it takes is a government that loves and cares for its people and that wants to put its people first. And so, producers, we want you all to get a mic for the audience. So if it's persons here who have questions, if you're in the Golden Isles community, you can either call in if you have a question, or you can just come to the mic if you're from Golden Isles, or anyone, but you can ask questions. Your MP, your future MP is right here. All right? So let's quickly go to the phone lines. Good evening, caller, you're live.
Mr. Bain. Mr. Bain, it's a privilege and an honor to watch this ride going on. Mr. Brian Rowe, in my opinion, would be the man to represent those people in Golden Isles. Now, here's an observation that I came across, that we have so many migrants working in the country in our food industry. They're all up in the butcher shop, they've been wrapping meats in food stores. They run the food in the different delis. But I believe that every one of them should have a health certificate presented every 3 months underneath a coalition government. They should be tested who's dealing with distribution to the German people. What do you think?
Yeah, that goes without saying.
And I thank you, Mr. Bain, for your standing up and presenting and opening your phone lines to the Bayman people. Thank you for being so brave.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Awesome. Go ahead.
Yes. When I was living in Engliston, I had the number of Glennis Anna Martin in my phone. We used to talk occasionally, and I called her and I asked her a question. I asked her if there are inspections regarding these Chinese restaurants. And I almost passed out when I heard her response to me. Her response was, "You ain't got to eat there." I kid you not. I kid you not. Her response was, "You ain't got to eat there." I mean, I found that to be so disheartening and so uncaring. I mean, the people of Engliston were the ones who put you in that seat, and that was the response that you had. And at that time was when, I just lost all respect for her, for that response. Obviously, they don't really care about our people. I mean, she could have said, well, Mr. Roll, that is something that I'll look into. I mean, come on, but don't tell me that you ain't got to eat there. It's sad, man. It's just sad.
Yeah, I think we have to be concerned about the health of our people. And, there are foreigners that come from cultures that are nasty. And Bahamians are not nasty when it comes to food. We don't play around when it comes to our food. And so whether it's Chinese or other people, we don't do that. And so Bahamians need to pay attention. But it's our government's duty to make sure that our food is safe, to make sure that the inspections are being done and being done properly. And so if they're not doing it, then they've fallen down. I'm going to take this next call. Caller, you live. Go ahead.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Green. Good night, Mr. Roy.
Yes, good night.
I have a very, 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 very serious concern. I see the taxi drivers were out in full, and these people are very angry. I mean, the old farmers are getting very, very angry. So I really want to know, what's going to happen if we already know that the Asians are not supposed to vote in this country, and they show up to the polls to vote. I want to know what is really going to happen. I would really like to know what's going to happen because it's going to be chaos. You know, we have some Bahamians who's not going to stand down, who's not going to let a Haitian stand in the front of them and go to the poll. You know, so what we planning on doing about that? That's what I need to know.
You really want me to say our plans over the open air to let the government know what we plan on doing?
I just want to know if there is a plan in place, right?
Yes, we have a plan in place, but I don't think anyone wants me to expose what we plan on doing for the general election to the government. I think that would be irresponsible. That would be kind of dumb.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, right? But I'm just hoping, right, that we really do have a measure in place that this don't happen. You understand what I'm saying?
The biggest measure that needs to happen is Bahamians need to come out and vote. Bahamians need to see that the FNM and PLP has been pandering to foreigners for all these years, and that Bahamians, if they don't come together this time, there is no future election. You are going to be outnumbered. And your children will have no place to run. And so it's that serious. And so not only should you come out and vote, you need to be out there, not you call, I mean Bahamians on the whole, you need to be out there spreading the message that we have to save our nation. Go ahead, caller.
Okay.
You done? All right, thank you for your call. I appreciate it. 803-5995 is the numbers. Anyone in our audience has anything to say? Anything in our audience has any questions, any comments, etc., please step forward and they'll give you the mic. The gentleman is standing right there. Don't worry, you won't be on camera. But anyone has something to say in the audience, any questions, any comments, etc.? All right, go ahead.
Right. Okay, well, I don't have any questions, but I have something to put out there.
Don't stand right in front of the speaker.
I have something to put out there to the people in this constituency. Please, Brother Brian Roll, a God man. This is going to be a spiritual fight going through this general election. And it's nothing that these scumbags, and I call them scumbags if you don't mind me calling them scumbags because they are scumbags, they cannot stop it. Because I see God's hand is on what's going on in this 21st century in this Bahamas. Then the Bible says, when the righteous is in authority, the people rejoice. When them bastard, wicked people are in authority, the people on. And that's what the people are doing right now. The people are in mourning right now. So what we need in this country is a godly representative government to take this country to the next level. And that's the COI. And that's who I support. I tired of the PLP. I wouldn't say no more about because there is no FNM. Because they are the same. It's only two parties in this country right now. It's the COI and them scumbag PLPs. And I'm not afraid. They tell me they was going to jail me in Long Island when I was there for speaking out. But I told them, I called Lincoln.
What did you speak out about?
Well, I spoke out about the evil, the corruption, and my father to rest a couple of weeks ago. And the same situation that happened in Long Island where the old lady being driven to the morgue in the rain, getting soaked. Now, they cover it up by sending an ambulance up there. Now it's two ambulances up there that make no sense. They can't find a driver to drive a standard shift. So I said, what sense it make sending an ambulance in Long Island that the people can't drive? So my word to the Long Islanders, I know this is for Golden Isles. But my message to the Long Islanders, you better vote COI. Sure Pratt, because she will take care of that situation that to take your father, mother, aunt, whoever to the morgue, because that's her job. So vote for the COI in the islands and in the entire Bahamas. Let's get rid of the PLP. Not, like I say, there is no F&M because that was a cover-up 60 years ago. Okay? It's no F&M. It's just the PLP now and the COI. So vote for the COI.
Thank you. We got a caller on the line. And while we're doing that, I want to call the candidate for South Andres. Mr. Claire is in the house. Please come and sit in this chair with us. It's going to be your first, your introduction. Caller, you live. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, caller, you live.
Good night, Mr. Bean, and good night to Mr. Rule and to everyone else.
Yes, good night.
I have a question. This was brought to my attention yesterday. I live abroad. I have my elderly neighbor who has been hospitalized for now 3 days. She's about 84 years old. And I had requested from both of our daughters who is there in Nassau, once they would have gone to the PMH yesterday for visiting hours, if they could have called me where I could they can video call me or I can speak with her over the phone while they're attending visiting hours to see her at the hospital female surgical ward. Bear in mind, she also has a granddaughter that lives away in the United States. And I was told that by one of her daughters that the nurse brought to their attention the other evening, I think it was Friday, that they cannot do no video calls or make any calls while they're on visiting hours. I need to know when was this implemented in our public hospitals, because with persons who have loved ones living abroad and need to speak with persons in the hospital, I think it's very unfair what they are doing in PMH as a public hospital.
Yeah, that is extremely wrong. There should be no reason why your constitutional rights should be taken away from you to be able to speak to your friends and family by whatever means you need to. Even prisoners have a right to get a phone call. And so the only thing that they can caution against is you putting other people in there on your video call. But as long as you keep your video call to you where it's showing you, that should not affect anybody else. All right? And so that is wrong if they're doing that. And we have to speak out against that.
Yes, they did, because the nurse told one of the daughters that, no video calls are allowed in nothing. They cannot use the phone to make no calls. They're private phones, So I think it's disheartening, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that this government is embarrassed that a lot of the information about their neglect of the hospital is going out there, and they don't want people showing the neglect and failure that's really going on. So they're trying to keep it secretive. But they should know that we visit our friends and loved ones in the hospital. We're seeing that. Bahamians are seeing that. How could you continue to see that as a Bahamian and then vote for that? How can you vote for that? But thank you for your call. I appreciate it.
Thank you, too.
All right.
Mr. Bay, we got a question over here.
Go ahead.
Good evening. I just want to mention that this area has a small wastewater package plant.
Okay.
Right? And it's quite possible that plant may be under design. In fact, it may be one of the only functioning to a type of standard where you dispose an effluent, which looks clear, which means that the sewer has been treated and you chlorinate it. But a lot of the areas where the sewer infrastructure is located, going straight to deep well injection without any treatment. Okay? I guessing that. I work at the co-op over 33 years.
Wow.
Sebastian. So you're flying all over the world, but you ain't thinking about that other side of the hell. We all have to use the restroom. It has to go somewhere. Okay? We're in trouble if we don't address that. Trust me.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. Thank you for your courage and speaking out and making sure we know what's going on. Y'all give him a round of applause. So that's another water and sewage worker. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to some of you who have not seen the ratification, the man for South Andres. This is Mr. Clare. Mr. Clare has been in South Andres all his life. And, you know, like all of us, he was supporting one party or another before. This young man who was representing Golden Isles used to be a progressive young liberal. He'd been in the progressive party from he was young. But now he is saved. And he realized that was the problem with the country. And now, I think you was PLP too, eh? I was everything. You was everything. Well, you was all over the place sinning, but now you're saved. All right? Why you choose to not go with the PLP and F&M anymore?
Well, actually, you know, I've been around.
This is Mr. Carlton Clare, ladies and gentlemen.
My name is Carlton Clare. They all call me Captain Crunch for some reason, but some folks,
former superintendent of police.
Some people didn't know my real name, and when I ran for local government, I didn't get the votes that I really thought that I would get. And they told me point blank, we didn't see your name, Captain Crunch, out there. So, like the other politicians, you have to add that to my name, because everywhere we went campaigning, everyone was addressing me as Captain Crunch, and I keep telling them my real name. But that didn't make any sense to them. So I am Captain Crunch from... I am from South Andres. I'm Mangrove Key, South Andres, and Central Andres. I represent those three areas. And I mentioned those three areas mainly to let you know that it is three areas that is divided by water. And for me to get from South Andres, where I presently live, and go into Fresh Creek, where my house is, I have to come to Nassau. Now, I think that needs to be fixed.
What?
I have to come to Nassau in order to get to Central Andres, where my house is. So that's a dilemma. So I'm sure...
No, man, hold on, man. Wait.
See,
We can't brush over that.
I wanted to speak to Mr. Bain a long time ago. Now I have
hold on, repeat that. So to get from where to where, you have to go where?
I presently live in Camps Bay, South Andres.
Yes.
And my house, my home, where I'm from, is in Fresh Creek, Andres. I have to catch a plane from South Andres, Western Air, to Nassau, and catch the next available flight to go into Fresh Creek, to Central Andres.
Wow.
And that's something that is burdening myself and also the people of Andres. Okay, here's another thing. BAMSI was set up in North Andres, and we have a lot of farmers in South Andres. They have to send their goods, their fruits and vegetables to Nassau, and then when Nassau decides to send that to North Andres, where BAMSI is, the fruits and vegetables are spoiled. So you see the kind of dilemma that we have? So what we really need, and I mentioned it when I was formally introduced to the COI, we really need, at least I discovered now that we need 3 bridges. We gotta take one from south into Mangrove Key, one from Mangrove Key into Bigwood Key, and the last one will go into Cargill Creek. Okay? So I know that's gonna cost a lot of money. And
this country has a lot of money.
Trust me, I believe in my leader. He said that the country does have the money. So while we're waiting to get that done, or while we're organizing that, that's a major, very major project. What we want to introduce is a ferry that runs from Cargill Creek into Driggs Hill, South Andres. And I'm sure that you would be doing a remarkable thing for the people of Andres. Andres is an island, it's big and long. 109 miles long by 44 miles wide at its widest point. The widest point of Andres is in the area of Fresh Creek, Cargill Creek, and Bowen Sound. That is the widest point, 44 miles. Okay? So what I envision when we start issuing these crown land free to our own people, and I'm waiting for mine. Okay? The main street of every island in the Bahamas is called what? Queens Highway. Queens Highway. There's also a Bay Street. My house is on Bay Street in Fresh Creek off Queens Highway, okay? So what we have to do when we issue these crown land to people, we need to take a street from Queens Highway, take it to the west side of Andros, and in some cases, it's 44 miles to get there. In normal cases, it's about 20 miles and 15 miles as Andros stretched out. So what we need to do is run some lanes west off this Queens Highway, and instead of giving our foreign investors the crown land on the main highway, let's give that to them 40 miles back there, 20 miles back there, and let them create their investment, which is 40 miles away. You're not taking anything away from the Bahamians, you know, but you give them their investment and let them invest into these lanes that, or expressway, if you want to call them, or highways to get to the west side. Now, when you cut those lanes...
Before you go on, I just want you to know that by this time next year, there will be no more Queens Highway.
I hope so. And that makes sense. That makes all the sense.
That nonsense will end.
But it have to be an act of government to do that, okay?
Of course, it will be an act of the COI government to change the name of all of them to the New Bahamas Highway.
New Bahamas Highway, exactly. And I'm waiting for it. And I am so proud of the COI that I was introduced to by my own cousin Rosie and Paul Clare. They are the ones who introduced me to the COI. And actually, when they did, it was the night when Mr. Bain came to their house for a meeting.
Wow.
And I asked Mr. Bain, I said, if the present government gives you an opportunity to become a part of them and give you immigration to run, would you take it? He said, no, over my dead body. I will not take that from no other government. I am going to create an avenue where I can personally become the person in charge of the Bahamas, which is the Prime Minister, and I will personally take immigration out of my portfolio. So I think he really should be given a round of applause for that. No Prime Minister, no leader of this country would ever want to take charge of immigration because of you heard about the problems that we have. So I applaud Mr. Bain on that. Okay, I'm a former police officer. I was a police officer.
Before you go on, I just want them to know this part, that there's an immigration board that is in charge of immigration. They're responsible for signing over, for giving out our citizenship. The Prime Minister is the chairman of that. So every citizenship that was sold out in this country, the Prime Minister signed off on that. Just want you to know that. All right? The cabinet ministers are the immigration board. And so they have collectively sold us out. Just want to educate you, that's the law. All right? Go ahead.
Okay, one more thing I would say before I go on. We had a long conversation about the water situation here in Nassau. I want you all to visit Andros, South Andros in particular, and see what happens to the water. We have millions and millions of gallons of water there, fresh water lanes and everything. But 10:30 tonight, the water cuts off. Every bit of water cuts off, and there is no water. Water and sewage cuts off the water at 10:30 every night and comes back on at 6:30 in the morning. That is something that we have to deal with. We have to correct that, Mr. Bain. We have to do something about that. There is no fire hydrant in Andros. There's none at all in Andros. So we need to get that done. There's no ambulance in Andros. I see them every day carrying the sick people to the clinic, to the various clinics, on the back of a truck. And that is very deplorable. That is something that our country at this stage, we should not bear. No ambulance. Long Island got 2. We got none. Okay, we have no fire engine. And Andros burned down every year. Every year, Andros burns down and grow new vegetation. Wow. So that is something that we really have to fix. No water at night, no ambulance, and so forth. Then there are several clinics, one in particular in Mangrove Key, that started last year. And it stopped immediately, abruptly. It stopped abruptly and is not completed at all. That needs to be looked into, and whoever is dealing with that has to have that thing corrected. Because we shouldn't have people from Mangrove Key coming to South Andros or going to Fresh Creek where they have to catch a plane or charter a boat just to be attended to for their illness. So that's some of the things that we need to fix immediately.
Awesome. It's disgraceful that our family islanders on our major islands, cannot get good health care. They pay just as much or more taxes than we pay because taxes are mostly from VAT now, and they actually pay more VAT than us because a loaf of bread there is more expensive than a loaf of bread in Nassau. Gas there is more expensive than gas in Nassau. In other words, they pay more taxes because it's more expensive to buy things on the family islands. And so they should get proper health care. The reason there is not proper health care on the family islands is because someone is making money from it.
Yes.
You need to look and see who is in the air ambulance industry. They're not going to give you good health care because, well, Dr. Minnis and others, he's one of them. But there are many of those PLP and F&M oligarchs who's making money from that. Maria says she has the papers. All right? And so we're gonna fix that. We have a woman who is not only a developer and a hotelier, but she is also a medical professional. And she is going to make sure that our healthcare industry is transformed. Yeah. I believe in Dr. Veronica McIver, that she can deliver it.
Yes, sure she can.
She can oversee making sure the hospitals, etc., get built. Listen, we ain't building no more clinics. Because I don't know what that is. What is a clinic? What is that? Look at the clinic in Abaco. That's big enough to be a hospital. If you utilize the space properly. And so, look at the one in Exuma. That is big enough to be a hospital. Why are they not giving us hospitals, but only giving us clinics? You all better wake up and stop voting for that. But Dr. Veronica McIver has the vision for that, and we are going to see that transformation in healthcare. And so, I promise you, once we win, we going to connect Andros.
Thank you very much.
Andros is an archipelago.
Yes.
And we are going to connect that archipelago that they call Andros. All right? And in terms of flights, we've already called up. We're coming to the line soon. Just hold on. We've already given our plan for aviation in this country, where we're going to make sure that you can get from any island in this country to Nassau or any other island in this country on the same day. All right? And that's because we're going to treat our airlines like a train service or a bus service instead of just having everyone connect in Nassau. You'll have planes that only traverse the southern islands. Like a train would traverse, that plane goes in a circle or back and forward. So, for example, in the southern islands, you may start in Long Island, and then you go to jump to each island. And so persons who are getting off on that next island, you just get off, like getting off on the bus. It's simple. So you get off on your stop, or you stay on the plane if you're going to the next island. All right? That's simple, right? And so you can get from Long Island to Anagua in the same day. And so you stay on the plane till it reaches Anagua. But you can also get from Anagua to Long Island. Now, Long Island will be a hub. And then if you're getting off and going further north, you get off on that plane and you jump on the next plane, which will be jumping to the islands in the central of New Providence, all right, which is Cat Island, Rumkey, and all of those islands, Exuma, etc. And you just jump off as it hops. You stay on the plane or you jump off where you want to go. Then there's another hub for the northern part of New Providence. So you can literally get from Freeport to Inagua on the same day, because you have several planes traversing the south, the central, and the north on the same day, and they are jumping like a bus route. We have to be innovative for our country. We have an archipelago, and so there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to get from Inagua to Abaco or Grand Bahama in the north in the same day. All it takes is a little bit of vision. All right? And you're going to save money because those planes only jump in from those islands. All right? And if they don't have someone on those islands prepared to go, or who, so you may skip Miguana because no one is traveling in Miguana. Because on the mobile app, you can just go on your mobile app and you can book your ticket. And you will know that the plane coming, so that needs to come to Inagua. If no one booked, then you can, to Miguana. You can skip over Miguana and then go to Auckland and then go to Crooked Island. I hate the fact that if you go to Auckland, you got to stay for several days before a plane come back. You stuck. That's not going to happen. We have the vision to transform this country, but we keep voting for failure. We can fix this. So I want to thank you. Anything you want to say to your people and Andres before we go on?
Yep, I want you guys in Nassau to realize that Andres is ready for a change. Andres is ready and poised for a change. Everywhere you go, you can hear the folks saying, we are tired of this two-government system, two-party system. We're tired of the FNM and the PLP. We are voting COI. And that's what I really came here to let you know that we are ready. We're fired up and we're ready to go for the COI.
Thank you.
And one last note, we have, our banking system is deplorable. We only have 1 day of banking a week in South Andros. 1 day to operate at bank. So when I go to the bank on that Wednesday, I can meet 400 people waiting to get served. When you see 2:30 come, they shut the door and say, we can't serve anymore. Something has to be done about that.
I can tell you that for the last several months, we've been in conversations with experts in that field who own banks, who own legitimate worldwide crypto organizations, and ATM business, etc., who are ready to come here and transform banking to where we can have our own wallets. We're going to have proper ATMs that don't go down and that are serviced properly on all of those islands, but also a miniature banks that deals with your banking needs right there, so that elderly persons can come and walk in the bank. Money can be deposited on their account that they can have access to, and you can transfer money back and forth to your people, including your children who might be in college in the States. And so we are going to transform banking in this nation, including the use of cryptocurrency. All right? And so no one is going to be unbanked in any of our islands, including the immigrants. All right? Illegal immigrants can't be banked. All right? But there will be no illegal immigrants under the COI. So when you come here legally, you will be able to have your bank account, your driver's license, and operate properly in our country. All right? And so for our family islanders, those banking woes that you have, they're going to be gone. But you got to vote for it. And like I said, we are talking to experts right now who have the means and everything else to get this done like that. We should be able to use Cash App. We should be able to use all of those things, Venmo, etc., that they use in the United States of America. All right? Why are they blocking us? Why?
Trying to keep you poor.
Well, we got plenty more conversations about that stuff to come. So I want to thank you, my brother. That's Carlton Clare, ladies and gentlemen. He is the next member of parliament for Mangrove Key and Central and South Andros. God bless you, my brother. All right, you give him the mic. We're going to go to the phone lines first before we go to the persons. Nassau Village, step forward. Call it live. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Ben and everybody there?
Awesome, my brother.
I never knew my best friend Carlton Clare was so chatty. He and I grew up together on South Street. Don't go yet. Listen to your story, son. We grew up together on Augusta Street and South Street. We went to school up on the hill. This man comes from a family so. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, he comes from such a distinguished, noble family. His daddy was Mr. Clare. I loved him so much. I wrote a song about him.
Wow.
It's called "I'm the Barber, the Shave and Haircut Man." I wrote that song for him.
Wow.
And he was such a noble person. The song is about when the barber industry went. Sorry?
Go ahead, talk.
When the barber industry went down because of afros and all stuff, he would be right there, holding the fort, just hailing people, greeting people. This man comes from such good people. Yeah, well, cousin, I just buried my brother last week, so he knows me, Stephen Colbrook.
Okay.
And let me tell you something. The people in Andres will be so. They will be so. What's the word? They should be so happy to have a person like him. And I lied you not. This man was the. Look, I told you I know this guy, and I just tried to make him do bad all of his life. Nope. He's one great guy.
Yeah, he's a straight shooter.
Even when he was a policeman. And I heard talks he had to leave the police force because he wouldn't bend. Now that's just I can't prove that. But that's what I heard. This man, Andres, you will be so proud to have this man as your leader. And this COI under Mr. Lincoln Bean and all of these people who just want to see the Bahamas do better. And I don't want to go this way, but the Bahamas is going such the way of Haiti. Everything in the Bahamas now is Haitian. When I say that, I mean, if you see how business is conducted and people behavior, everything is corrupt. And I always said you could take the Haitian out of Haiti, but can you take the Haiti out of the Haitian? And that's what we have right. And that. But thank you very much, and I want to encourage my good friend Carlton Clare. He knows me as recent as we were in Freeport. But God bless you, Carlton. God bless you.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. 803-5995 is the number. Before we get back to Golden Isles, I want to introduce to you again. Hold the line, call you next. I want to introduce to you again Mr. Stephen McQueen, who is the next member of parliament for Nassau Village. So, Stephen McQueen, you could do the rest of the show with us as we end the show. Again, this ain't rally yet. This is just our live broadcast. So don't panic, F&M and PLP. Don't panic. All right. Let's go to the phone lines. Yeah, don't send Tommy with the drone. F&M Tommy with the drone.
Hey, Mr. Ben,
Now you go sweating one now. We figured that out. Let's take this call. We have someone.
Yeah, we have someone here waiting for.
All right, let's just take this call and then we'll get right to you, my brother. Sorry, been standing up long. Oh my God, sorry about that. Call you live. Go ahead.
Good evening again, Mr. Bain. How are you tonight?
I'm awesome.
I am really desperately trying to get a personal phone number without interrupting your live for Mr. Steve McKinney. There's been some things that have transpired on the island of Hopetown over the last, well, I'd say about 2 days ago, maybe 3, that I would really like to address as a local citizen for 60 years on this island, outside of my position as a council member. But I have tried the numbers that have been forwarded to me to no avail to reach Mr. McKinney. Can you please WhatsApp me at your convenience a number on the best way to approach or to get in touch with him in order to hear my concerns and the concerns of this community on a recent event regarding immigration and their conduct in relation to a matter on this island, please?
Okay, we'll get to it. Afterwards, I'll send me a WhatsApp and I'll send you his number. Okay.
I really would appreciate that.
Okay, you're from Abaco. You're from Hope Town.
Yes, my name is Marina Cash.
Okay, and how you voting?
COI or die. Ain't nothing changed, Mr. Bain.
All right. All right.
Have a good night. Thank you.
All right. See you later.
I
won't. Thank you. COI or die. We used to say COI or nothing. She say COI or die. And she's right. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon.
Just standing on this basketball court here now made me feel like I'm at home. This is where my craft started in sports in the Bahamas.
Oh, wow. Come forward, man. Let them see you. Come forward, man. Oh, I can't see who it is because the light's in front of me. Come. Oh, that's Rudy Lavardi.
Yes.
Man, this is a whole legend you all got standing over there. Come on the stage with us, man. Come, you've been sitting down long.
Thank you. Yes, like I say, standing on the court makes me feel like at home. It makes me feel like 1969 when the court was built in Mason's Addition.
Wow.
We were fed, we were blessed with a park, with a basketball court. The government placed it there, and we took it from there. Now, the other day, I saw one of the candidates taking photo shots of putting a net on the basketball court and saying that the reason why they putting the nets on the court was to keep the young men from getting in trouble. Now, that irked me a bit because if he had any interest in looking around the basketball courts are not for the same reason that it was during the time when I was learning to play. You go to many of the basketball courts right now, and you see a number of young men sitting around. They're either smoking, drinking, and learning another language, which is cuss. And there is hardly any activity going on the courts. He took a photo shot by Bacardi right outside his headquarters. I walked in here. There's no net on this here.
No net on this court?
No net on one side of the court.
This the main court though.
This the main court, but he took
hold
it
on, man.
took the photo of Bacardi.
Cameraman, how we can do this? They need to see this. Come, Lavardi, come. We got high-tech remote control cameras, so they can see this far. Come, zoom that in. So, after all that show they put on, saying they doing things, look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
So if his intention was that good, that it was going to keep the young men from getting into trouble, Why was it only done on one court in Golden Isles? And it just happened to be because we're having a by-election in Bacardi Road. What happens to all the other courts on the island of New Providence or on the Family Islands? Are they also putting basketball nets here?
Wow. Man, and I want you all to know that this court got potholes in it. The court got potholes. Literally all cracking up, and cameraman, come show this, man. Y'all show this. Show this.
Never decorated this court here. I was quite pleased with it when I saw it.
Initially.
It's deteriorating and it's an easy fix.
Wow.
But when you're talking about nets and keeping people out of trouble, that's one thing you say you're doing to make progress. What happens to the rest of the people?
Let's
what
go sit
happens
back
to
down.
the older folks, the pensioners, the disabled? You didn't do anything for them. You didn't show any interest in anyone but the young men. You don't even know if these young men you see around the court that you put the nets up for, whether they were living in that constituency. You don't even know if they registered to vote. So that is something you need to research, and I hope Mr. Roll does the same thing.
Yeah.
In this constituency, or whatever constituency he is, because they're saying that they may have to cut this for boundary changes.
They will. It's going to be cut, split with a new constituency called Windsor, I'm told.
So when he becomes successful in winning this seat, his work has just begun. The street signs we've been asking for. I have a list in my pocket, but I don't want to take it out. I asked 6 questions to every single candidate from 2017. I gave them a letter. What are you going to do for this, that, the other? And to put some street signs in Coral Lakes. The new government subdivision that just opened this past year, every street, the name of that street has been placed on. We've had the same MP since 2017, and he never even visited the area to say this is what he's going to do. And I spoke to him on several occasions. I'm not new to him. He played basketball, I played basketball. So he wouldn't even come to the house. But let me tell you, I have been a follower of Lincoln, not since he came into politics, but when Lincoln was trying to open his television station, when we used to be at the old Gold Gym on Bay Street and Marquis Street. And when Lincoln got into politics and Lincoln started to stand up for the Bahamian people, I became convinced if he was running in the constituency I'm living in, I'm voting for him. All right? 3 elections later, he's still standing strong and fighting and speaking out for the Bahamian people. There were only 2 prime ministers who seem to have had the Bahamian interests at heart. From I was in high school, when Sir Lyndon rallied the forces together to win the general election in '67. Hubert Ingram stood against the entire regime to wipe them out. And he was speaking out for the Bahamian people. Lincoln is not even in the House. And he's been speaking on behalf of the Bahamian people. Brave Davis, Perry Christie, Hubert Ingram, and now my good friend Michael Pintard, they inherited the position of leader of the parties that they represent. You never hear them speaking out about anything before until they had a convention. The convention voted for you to be the leader, and they stopped speaking out for the Bahamian people. No one spoke about any plan. All they did was throw scuds at each other. My hope is that the COI don't become one of those who are going to throw scuds at the rest of them. I want him to be, in my opinion, like former U.S. President Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was doing so well in the United States that the Republicans could not find anything on him to get him out. They were so happy when the Monica Lewinsky scandal came out. But it just so happened that he was coming to the end of his second term. But they were happy to get him out because everything they spoke about that he wasn't doing, he just quietly went about his business and he did it. The people recognized him. I don't know how many people understand what he did, but had it not been for the Monica Lewinsky's scandal, he would have been the most highly decorated president in modern times in the United States. When the COI becomes the government of the Bahamas, it is my hope, I'm already a senior citizen, I want to be able to sit down and watch TV, be happy, and know that what is being done here in the Bahamas is not just for me, it's for the people, because I will benefit from what good is done for the people of this country and not for myself.
Yes.
I thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, before you go, you were PLP or FNM before?
I was never a card-carrying member of any particular party.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in the belly of politics. My uncle and his son, Garnet and Warren Lavardi, they were not politicians. They were persons who were elected to Parliament, but they were not one of those who's going to say, because you're on this side, I don't care for you, or that side. And that's why the Lavardi name was ostracized in this country, because we didn't take sides. We decided we were going to vote for the candidate that we feel was best for the constituency we were living in.
So I asked you that because you talked about your 6 questions, and you asked those 6 questions to everyone. Well, I'm going to give you an amazing opportunity to not need those 6 questions anymore. You're going to be able to tear those 6 questions up, and you can put them in a shredder, and you could burn them if you want to, because we're going to have something called city government. It's called Island States and City Government. And that is going to take power away from the politician and give it to the people. We're not going to have to worry about whether the politician is going to answer their phone after election anymore. You don't have to worry about whether they're going to put up street signs and fix potholes or basketball courts. I mean, this is sickening, the way this one is maintained. Because the people are going to have their own budget. They're going to have their own city council and their own mayor. And the city council is the residents of the community. And so the city council has their own budget, and they say what needs to happen in their community. And the mayor's job is to get it done with his team. And if the mayor fails to get it done, he's fired. You don't have to wait 5 years like you do with your MPs. He is fired now, and you get a new mayor. It's simple as that. And so now the accountability is going to be on you. And how do we know that you're going to make sure the road's fixed? Because your car got to drive on it. How we know that you're going to make sure that the schools are repaired in time? Because your children have to go there. And so we believe that collective responsibility should not just be for the cabinet. It should be for the people of the community. But we're going to give you your money and empower you to do what you need to do in your community. And the politicians get out of the way. You are going to know who the good contractors are in your community and who the crooked contractors are. You're going to know how to get things done. We're going to put the power in your hands so you don't have to, when the politician comes around to your door, have any questions him what you could do with these street signs with missing all the time? What you could do with the flooding issue? My brother, you live in Coral Lakes, right?
Yes.
And they call that lakes for a reason because it floods. Do you think that if you guys had your own budget, wouldn't you have just fixed that flooding problem?
We were hoping we would have the power and the equipment to do it. If we were allowed to have the equipment, it would have been done. The simple street signs wasn't done, which was one of the easiest things to do. All you had to do was call the Ministry of Works, put them in the street. It could take a week or two to get all these signs up. As simple as that was, they couldn't get that done.
But the FNM and PLP is saying they want you to vote for them.
Yes, indeed. That's what they're saying. That's
so
why
you give out backpacks and campaign or force the government to put up street signs?
we as a community, when the community worked, we did things in the community for ourselves. But then as politics got in the middle of it, it started to cause a division. It caused a division. So there were many people who just stayed away from the chat and don't know what was going on. But see, I had an opportunity to speak out. I'm not afraid to talk to any MP. You come to my house. Y'all came to my house. This was the first time we have had a candidate come to the house. We've had the workers come, but the first time we've had a candidate to actually come to the house. And how Mr. Brown, Mr. Road came to the house, I called him on Steve McKinney's show.
Wow.
And said, when you in the area you campaigning, come to my house. And I came poised and ready for when they came. Ronald Harbour was there. He had a lot of people I knew. Craig Adley. But my mind had already been made up. I was going COI. So change ain't coming.
Change is here.
Change ain't coming.
Change is here.
Change ain't coming.
Change is here.
Thank you much.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I just wanna say this. We're gonna wrap up in a minute, but I just wanna say this. There was a time when voting for the candidate was a good idea, and it worked. We now realize that the candidates can only do what the party allows them to do. And so it doesn't matter how good the candidate is. You've heard all of them saying, yeah, Obi wanted to do some things, but the party didn't let him do it. Oh, Vaughn wanted to do some things, but the party didn't let him do it. You've heard it in the PLP and FNM. We need to vote for the party. I'm saying that now. We need to vote for the party that has the best interests of the Bahamas at heart, of the Bahamian people. We need to vote for a party that's going to empower the Bahamian people. We need to vote for a party that's going to let you benefit from your natural resources and carbon credits. We need to vote for the party this time. And so they may say, okay, Brian Brown, Brenton and them give him some backpacks to give out. Okay. He said it. He said someone called him, give him 700 backpacks to give out. Okay, that's what rich people and even drug dealers do. Someone giving out stuff in your community doesn't mean they care about your community. That means they won't get power. So when the drug dealer comes to the community and he's buying books for the children, that's going to hurt your children in the long run. So when the number man and whoever else think they got money and they want power, come to your community giving things out, that's because they want power, not because they care about you. All right? I saw the, sorry, I changing, I saw the number man go in a store and he said he buy some stuff for the store, right? To help the person. Just bought some stuff for the store. And of course, he has to blast that all over. I can tell you that the COI does things like that all the time. I have done that for local store owners, buy them snacks and sodas, etc. But we don't blast them on social media. Yeah, one person that he found, you know. I saw them. I mean, I think this was ironic that, you know, he gave peanuts to one man. They making the billions while you getting peanuts. Someone coming and giving you handouts will not help your community. The fact that you will vote for them for handouts, for peanuts, is the reason they will never empower you. Think about that. They need you to be poor, broke, starving, and desperate so that when they come with the small change, you feel like they did so much for you. So if you want to continue to be in that state, vote for them. When they come with their little trinkets, vote for them for peanuts. Sebastian now, he was the number man, now he's the peanut man. Peanut man. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Bin, Mr. Rule, audience, Golden Isles, Nassau Village, and the wider Bahamas. Let me say something, if I might, to the wonderful constituents of Golden Isles on behalf of your next member of parliament. I want to speak to some of you who are young persons. If you are like some of those in my constituency, Nassau Village, you are facing unemployment. There are those of you who are parents and you have children that are educated who can't come home because there's no work for them, or so they say. I want you to think about the fact that your children deserve their birthright. They deserve to be able to come home, not so much for employment, you know, but listen to what we are promoting, for empowerment. I remember when COI seemed to be the only party talking about empowerment. And now we're hearing it thrown around by the other guys, empowerment. But what they mean by empowerment is for them to keep empowering themselves. I want you to think for a minute. They have been in power for the last 4 years. And they have been flip-flopping governments for umpteen years. But I want you to think about how they insult your value, how they insult your intelligence, how they insult you, because you only deserve to have your roads paved now that there's going to be a by-election. You know, that says that they could have done it long time. They could have done it long time. And so they use it like a carrot on a stick. They're going to give it to you to chase after because they want your vote. And so you know what that means? If you vote for them, that's over with. You have been facing flooding long time. You have been facing issues, mosquitoes, and this coal burning long time. Our forests are being burned. Let me tell you something. I don't know if you've ever had a look at Haiti through certain resources. They've burnt their forests to the ground. All right? They practically have no trees. And so they have mud flies. They have no roots holding the soil together, etc., etc. And now we have had governments that sat for virtually 20 years that didn't bother to deal with illegal immigrants defecating in our water. Think about that. They didn't deal with that. They kept that under wraps. They kept that silent. It took courageous people like the leadership of COI, like the candidates of COI, like the supporters of COI, to stand up and say, enough is enough. There are people that say, hey, I don't believe that we can have all the things that the COI is promoting. Is it that you don't believe you can have it, or you don't believe that you should have it? Because I can tell you, when I drive certain places in this country, I see homes that don't look like Bahamian homes. They live in good. I see roads that don't have the issues that of the roads that I have to drive on every day. And I wonder how some of those people get to their places of business. I guess they take boats. Because I don't normally see them on the same streets that I drive. Or they got a helicopter. And I want you to think about this, Golden Isles. Because this is not just us making noise. And I wish Mr. President would do something for me. I put the clip, I have the clip queued up. And we played this clip before at our headquarters. It's already queued up. You could just hit play on your mic, if you will. But before he does that, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this. Because we've been saying what we are fighting for. And I know some of you are afraid because you can be victimized or whatever, but I want you to think about this. If you come and you cast your vote for your country, and if you come out in your numbers and cast your vote for your country, not only will you not have to fear this by-election, come general election, if you come out in your numbers and you do the same, you will not have a government to fear. There will be no PLP government to victimize you. There will be no FNM government to victimize you. There will only be a COI to empower you. I want you to think about this. Because they thrive on your fear. Kick fear to the curb. I want you to think about this. Because Mr. LaRoda made it plain. And he probably forgot that he was on camera. Because he admitted that this election, the PLP needs to win in order to save those contracts. He said that elections have consequences. And if you think you're going to have your contracts if the PLP loses, then he got a bridge he wants to sell you. See, they are fighting for their contracts, and God is having it so that they're saying things that they cannot retract and would not ordinarily say. God is forcing the truth out of them and verifying what we have been saying all along. They are fighting for contracts. We are fighting for country. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are fighting for a country. We are not the same. We are different. We are fighting for the future of this nation, for our children, for a Bahamas where I can know who is Bahamian, where a Bahamas where we can have values that are Bahamian, built on Christian values. Listen, I want you to hear this, because maybe the wider population missed it, but I want you to hear it from their own mouths. They are fighting for contracts, and they don't care about selling out Golden Isles or the country as a whole, as long as they keep their contracts. We're about keeping our country and creating a new Bahamas.
And before I play this, I received a call from, two calls, but one was from a couple, like 3 or 4 Haitians were together, and they called me, and they were sickened. They're Bahamians of Haitian descent, and they were sickened because they got calls that Brave Davis was in the shanty towns, and that was yesterday or the day before, I don't remember now. And that he was offering money to persons, to Haitians. All right? That he was telling them come get their money, and they was called and told come get yours. And one of them actually called someone back so I could hear. and say, hey, where to come for the money? What giving out? What to do? So that I could hear that this was actually going on. And this was before the video started circulating with Brave there. They called me and said, this is what is happening right now. They destroying this country with corruption, which is the same thing that destroyed Haiti. I want you to know that not every Haitian agrees with what Brave Davis is doing. Some of them got sense. They know that what is happening is wrong. They know that the F&M, Brenson and them did the same thing. Use them. But we got to stand up for this country. So I just want you to know that that was going on in that Haitian village. Not just them, they're partying. They was there giving them money while you can't even go to social services to get $1. I'm going to play this.
Election campaigning now in full swing. Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, Miles LaRota, joining Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell at a PLP branch meeting in Fox Hill on Monday night, delivering a message on the importance of voter turnout. LaRota addressing a crowd of PLP supporters, pointing to statistics he says show the party still has significant work to do on the ground ahead of the next general election.
Numbers are saying this. Out of the Bahamian population, there's about 27% that identifies with the Progressive Liberal Party. About 22% identifies with F&M. That means half of the country is independent.
So I want you to know that, and I was telling you about this. Brave Davis told me about this scientific poll that they did. And they asked about 3 parties, the COI, the F&M, and the PLP. Now, they don't never like to say COI. So that's why he say independent, all right? Same difference. And so that's the reality. But I think all of us have heard this. He goes on to say, to say that, you got to fight for your contracts, all right? And so we know what they're up to. But the old weapons ain't going to work no more. Bahamians have awoken. And so I just want to thank you because we gotta end the live now. Go ahead. Before we end, I just want our deputy to come up here and say hello, and then we get some last words from Golden Isles, and then we'll be good to go. Go ahead.
So the last thing I want to say for anyone listening in and watching, one of the things that you see from us is a great deal of passion and yes, in some cases anger, but please don't get lost. Don't allow the message to be lost in the moment that you see. Understand that we are passionate about our country. We love our country. We love our people. And this is what you see, and this is what I want you to understand. And so when you experience the passion that we have, understand that that's rooted in a love for our country, in a love for our people. Do not allow that to sway you except to pull you in to fight for this country. Golden Isles, stand with Mr. Brian Rule. He is your man.
All right. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. And good night to you. Where's our deputy? Welcome. Thank you so much. You wanna say something to Kalani?
Hey, any Kalani in the house tonight? Listen, I saw, I shouldn't even mention his name, Dr. Minnis at St. Francis Fair.
Mm-hmm.
And, we were chatting for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't say too much. I was shooting some darts, and I had bought some darts.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
shared,
literally, you were shooting darts?
Yeah, we were shooting darts. I gave him some of my darts to shoot, But
you beat him, right?
Well, put it this way, I had more darts than him.
Okay,
I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
But anyway, listen, I know it's been a long night, but I just want to say hello to everyone in on Facebook and all the social media platforms. I think it's been a wonderful show tonight.
Yes.
There were lots of points made. Mr. Lavarity, boy, he really brought it home. Our candidate, Mr. Roll. I mean, everybody who came up here did a wonderful job.
Yes.
And also, I cannot forget the engineer, Mr. Bastian. Listen, he actually gave solutions. A lot of times when the PLP and the FNM, they have their rallies or whatever, you don't actually hear bringing solutions to the people. And that is where COI is very, very different. We bring solutions to the people. And we are going to empower everyone. And there's one more thing I wanted to say. There were some images going around social media where the PM was, I guess, in a plaza where there were a lot of FNMs. And I was like, well, what's going on here? And then I saw another image of a PLP candidate and an FNM candidate, both using their signs. And I'm like, now I understand what's going on. They are forming a coalition to try to undo the real coalition. But you know what? It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. You agree?
I agree.
Yeah. But I was so amazed by that. It's like everybody wants to talk about COI. And the mainstream media, they don't want to talk about COI because we are the main coalition for the Bahamas.
Yes.
And we are going to take this fight and we're going to everybody take our hands and move with us to the new Bahamas.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mom Mariah, come quickly, please. Don't tell me no. Come quickly, come quickly. Because we got to win Mount Moriah.
Good evening, everyone. Brian, it was a pleasure being out here. You had me here for 5 hours. And it was a joy. I enjoyed all of the speakers tonight, as Dr. MacGyver said. And Brian, I'm praying for you daily that God will deliver you.
Thank you.
To this constituency. I believe you do an amazing job. So far, you're leading, as far as I'm concerned. That's what I'm hearing on the ground. People are loving you. I just wish everybody would get his name right. He's Brian Rowe, not Brian Brown.
People still has mixed up you with Ingham and you with Menace.
No, but it was really wonderful here, Mr. President. This was really, really nice tonight. And, it rained and people still stayed. Isn't that amazing? So, Brian, you ready?
Yes, I am.
You really ready?
Yes, I am.
Well, we're right behind you.
All right. I'm ready, Iram.
Awesome.
Okay, good night, everybody.
So, ladies and gentlemen, remember the motorcade is on Saturday. Make sure you come out. Bring everyone out. We're going to start from on the corner of Carmichael Road and Gladstone Road. There's a little bar right there, a white space, and we're going to go all up out the road. We're going to take up all the space around there that we need to, and that's where we're going to start from, and we're going to end right here on this park right here, and it's going to be fabulous. We're going to have some good food. That's where the grill and chill starts. And so we'll have a grill and chill, and we have plenty good meat. All right? Not just burn up chicken. Not just burn up chicken and bear. All right? We have some good food. You all like the food at our headquarters opening? Yeah, we got good food like that. All right? So make sure you're here. Bring out everyone you can, and let's paint the town black.
Hello again, Golden Isles. Now, I am a man of humility. I am a man of integrity. And I would just like to let Golden Isles know, all of the professionals in Golden Isles, please reach out to me. We have a country to fix. And it will be you guys who will be put at the forefront to fix Golden Isles. Again, my word is inclusion. Okay? I want y'all to remember that. When y'all think about Brian Roll, think about inclusion. We need you guys. We don't need no foreign consultants. We have enough very intelligent Bahamians in this country. And they will be put first when it comes to fixing this country. So don't be shy. I am reachable. I am sociable. My phone contact is 376-5193, 376-5193. In whatever capacity that you have, bring it forth and let's get it done. Let's work together to fix Golden Isles and by extension, our country. Thank you.
I just want you to know that you're in trouble to put your number out. My children can't even reach me no more on my phone number as everyone calling. So if you're calling me and you can't get me, that's how much people calling me. I ain't neglecting you. I try to answer as much calls as I can. Where Nishka? Nishka, yeah, I saw her earlier. Where Nishka? She right here. Come here, Nishka. Come, walk fast. Come, you call. Come to the office. Come, you stand right here between these two men. Yeah, you take your place. No, go by this right hand. Right hand. This Aniska Roll, this is the wife of Brian Roll. So you saw his children in his video. Now you see his wife. All right? And so they are going to take Golden Isles. He's a family man. I want you to understand that. He's a family man, and they are working together to save their community. This their community where they live and they invested. And they want to see this. Brian Brown have a wife? No? Y'all stop it. Y'all ain't safe. Stop it. Y'all stop it. Unsafe people. Why you gonna ask that? Well, this man loves this man loves his God. He loves his family. And he loves his wife. And he loves his country. All right? And so this is the man we need to represent this community. And this is the woman who is going to hold him up to make sure he gets it right. That's right, right? Yes. All right.
Yes, this is the wife that will be holding him up and the family that will be supporting him 100%. We are here to stay Golden Isles. Vote Brian Roll.
You sound like you want to be candidate. I want to thank you all for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be here on the corner of Carmichael Road and Glasson Road on Saturday. We don't have to remind you, just show up. Make sure you're there. We're going to paint the town black. Golden Isles, we're going to turn this black. I love these sessions. I actually like this better than rallies. Rallies is the whole way, but I like the way that we can actually educate the people and have real conversations and be here for the people in the parks. All right? So on Saturday, we're gonna be here and we're gonna have our meet and greet, and I think we're gonna go live during the meet and greet also. All right, and then we'll see what happens next Sunday. If we're doing Saturday, we may not do Sunday. All right, but we'll make a decision this week. But we want to thank everyone who made this possible. All of our technical team. They turned off my mic. I must be talking too long, eh? No, they ain't doing that. Thank you for being here. We are going to take Golden Isles. See you next week.